Hello, hello! On today's show, I'm going to talk the same aliens and dead people as I did last week. If you can believe it, a jokerized gargoyle shows up in Mike's Pick 3, and Tyler's back and says windowless boxes suck. Welcome to your favorite tardy live streaming, whatnotting, sometimes podcast, comics and collectibles in the crawl space. I, of course, am your fourth or fifth favorite podcasting host, Kevin, and we've got a full house again that's different but the same. First up is our returning champ, Tyler.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Good.
And then, of course, the regular Mike.
Hey, champ.
Hey, and you're a champion of fill-ins. That's the champ. Tyler is the last cover combat champ, but I was more referring to the champ of filling in at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's our go-to.
Yeah, because we actually knew Patrick wasn't going to be here again this week fairly early, but I forgot to mention that to Tyler until Thursday.
Yes.
Sorry about it, Ty.
Lucky but Tyler has nothing on his schedule.
When you originally asked me, I was on my way to class, and I replied in my head. I was like, "Oh yeah, I can make it." And then you texted me 6 hours later, like, "Hello."
Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't get the reply right away. I had to kind of follow up. But you hear that a lot with text. I hear that from people a lot. They're like, I replied to you in my head. I just forgot to manually do it. So. And then last but not least, I didn't forget. Just got wrapped up in the first of many conversations today. But we also have the spectacular background editor, producer, whatever, Karen. So, I mentioned tardy in the, intro there because we're running late today. And then, man, I don't know what was up with my computer, but when I hit go live, it almost didn't make it in time for after the countdown was over. So anybody that checked in there, like 3, 2, 1, it wasn't any regular 20-second countdown. It was pretty funny, but anyway. All right, so we got a lot of stuff on the plate as usual today. We are going to show the Cover Combat 6 logo and talk about it real quick first. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Are you doing an introduction to it?
No.
So yes, Mike, while the introduction was going, you asked, are you going to do an introduction? You couldn't see it again?
No, it was delayed. I forgot to switch internet lines here, so probably when I'm done here, I'm going to do that.
Well, we just need to accept the fact that part of the charm of this show is the mayhem and madness of Wi-Fi and internet failures, as well as our own mistakes on top of that. It makes it for a fun ride. Buckle up.
Yeah, we prepare all the content, which takes hours. And then when the presentation is just a train wreck, like we're just all falling downstairs.
Right. All right, Mike, I'm super excited about this. So the first thing we want to do is just reveal the Cover Combat 6 logo, correct?
Yes, and this is such an exciting event for us because Patrick works on these. He does these, and we're always excited to see what he's come up with because he's a pretty creative guy, got a lot of talent.
Absolutely.
And this one just blew me out of the water. And I think Johnny threw a curveball because Patrick had it. It was 1980s was the theme. He had it just about complete. And then it was narrowed down to DC Comics only. So he had to go back to the drawing board, and this is what we got.
Do you happen to have both, or just the one?
No, just the one. He didn't send me. That's a pretty good idea. Maybe you can share the mock-up for what he was intending.
Okay, that'd be I'd like to.
Or
see
he
that.
he may use elements of that later on. So who knows? It's up to him.
Okay, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, okay.
So here we go. And this is going to look familiar. It's awesome. He uses DC inspiration here. Here we go. There it is. There it is.
That is awesome. Man.
The theme is Cover Combat 6, DC Comics 1980 to 1989. Who will be the next champion?
That is awesome.
So he did send me what he referenced. I'll throw that up real quick, and then we'll go back to the logo. So for old school fans of DC, right here, we've got the Challenge mini-series, or not mini-series, maxi series. I guess was 12 issues.
Man, I'm not familiar with that at all.
Yeah, Xcellar has. We don't have the whole run. I think we have probably half of it, which I keep an eye out to try to get a complete run together.
That looks pretty cool, though. Man, I don't know anything about that. I'm gonna have to do more research on that one myself. I don't even know. Do you know? Did you read that? Did you know when it was out? Or maybe...
No, I have not read it.
Okay, but when it was originally out, you knew about it.
Not when it first came out. I wasn't collecting comics at the time.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, that was.
But I've been familiar with it. That it existed. I've never had it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
So there we go.
Pat started collecting prior to us, so I'm sure he probably this is probably something that he was aware of at the time. So yeah, cool. But that looks sick, though. That's for sure. I love the 6 in the DC similar kind of logo.
Yeah.
With a breakdown of the decade on the top. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
So this time we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 7 contestants. We've added Tom back into the mix. And we've also increased the number of covers submitted. So we have a total of 64 covers submitted. And for you mathematicians out there, the math doesn't work. The 9 times 7. So since it was an odd number, one participant added an extra cover.
Okay.
So we can get to the even 64.
And basically, just to let everyone know, obviously, more is better with Cover Combat in all of our opinions. But basically, we came to 64 because with 7 of us adding 9 covers, that's 63. Because if we would have just done the 8 covers like we typically do, that would have given us too short of a number to even out to get down to 2. So the finale is just going to be 2 for Cover Combat 6 that you get to pick from rather than 3, which is what we did. Did we do that for Cover Combat 1 and 2? We got the finals were 2, or for Cover Combat 2, did it go straight to 3 finalists?
Well, we did it to 2 because we had one cover we gave a bye week to. Basically, whatever cover had the most votes up to that point, they sat that round out.
Oh, right.
And
okay.
That's how we did it. And I don't like doing that.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah.
Either. So we wanted everything in competition at all times. So the breakdown, we have 64 covers and 29 different artists.
Nice.
So obviously, there were, let me think. What do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 12 artists have at least 2 submissions.
Yeah, that's an average of 2 point something per artist. That's pretty good. That's pretty good variety there. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the number one submitted artist, I'm not going to say who it is unless you guys want to know, or I can reveal it when we do the thing. The number one artist had 13 covers.
Oh, wow. Daggum.
And then number 2 and 3 had 6. And then we have 2 with 3. And then 7 with 2 covers. But yeah,
Nice.
those first 3 submissions, 13 and 6, they were dominating. You guys want to take any guesses? Or we'll leave that because I want Patrick involved in the conversation on the artists. Yeah.
And I was thinking too, we wouldn't want to know because then that might give us ideas of covers too. We can talk about it once round 1 and B, 1A and 1B are through, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then we wanted to talk about the schedule. We're changing Cover Combat schedule. As usual with XcellarComics, we hope this is a good idea. And we'll see.
They're all good ideas when we come up with them.
Right. Which again, I think is part of our charm because, pure chaos is our thing sometimes. And we'll see. This could be smooth and awesome like we have planned, or it could be completely chaotic and we'll have to make adjustments as we go. But Mike, I'm gonna recap all this. Of course, you are the resident corrector this time because Tyler seems to have checked out for now anyway. And of course, Pat's not here, so it's all on you, Mike. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
So this coming Monday, 2 days from now, and that's what I think people watching now are like, wait, why is this a Cover Combat 6 preview? I thought this was going to be Cover Combat 6. Here's why. We decided what might be fun and work out well / differently than what we've been doing in the past to have the Cover Combat show or segment be its own separate show. So Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space will just be its regular format with a Cover Combat show, essentially. And the first one, round 1A for Cover Combat 6's show, will be out Monday, 2 days from now. We're going to actually run that live. We're going to run that show live between 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Monday, right, Mike?
Right.
And then everyone will have after we obviously reveal round 1A covers, between Monday and Friday to vote on cover or round 1A. And that's pretty typical. That's standard. The cutoff time will be 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday to give Mike and Pat enough time to kind of prep things. I think it might be actually all Mike at that point to prep things for the next Cover Combat show, which we will then pre-record Saturday morning. But then we will publish it Monday again. So this coming Monday, it'll be a live stream. But every Monday after that, it will still be another Cover Combat separate show. But it'll be published every Mondays, on Mondays. Right. Even though we're going to pre-record it. So it won't be a live show. So we'll see how that goes. We haven't had a lot of comments and interactivity during the Cover Combat segment in the past, aside from the people obviously that'll occasionally stop in on the show like Johnny and Tom and stuff like that, but of course Tyler, but commenting for us to respond to during the show won't be able to happen during Cover Combat because it'll be a pre-recorded show that we publish on Monday. So that is the structure for Cover Combat 6. We'll see. Right, Mike? Yeah. Did I nail all that pretty much?
Yeah, it all sounds It all sounds the way we said it.
Okay, cool. Okay. And then I just want to throw this out too before we are done here with the Cover Combat 6 preview. Again, Cover Combat 7. People are like, why are we talking about Cover Combat 7? You're not even showing Cover Combat 6 covers, because Cover Combat 7 is viewer submission Cover Combat. And we're looking, we're currently in search of those viewers that are interested in submitting covers for Cover Combat 7. It can be 1 or up to 8 covers, your choice. Currently, we have 4 submitters, with one of them having submitted actually, I think 2 of them actually have submitted the entire amount up to how many possible? 8. One of them has submitted 6. And then one of them has submitted 1. So we've got
a lot of faith in that one book. I'm so curious. I got to know what that is.
Right. I can't wait to show you these covers. It's just like we talked about, having viewer submission. It's like, it's totally different than anything, of course, we've ever done, which is so cool. Not only because it's a more diverse range of opinions of what's a great cover, but then also, we know each other. We can kind of, to an extent, deduce what is going to be submitted. And it doesn't get stale, but this is Cover Combat 7 we're talking about. And, we kind of maybe have seen the same covers a couple times, that the non-winners. So anyway, we do have 4 viewers, but it's not even none of them, or all of them, haven't maxed out on their covers. So we don't even know how many viewers we're going to get. So comment now, or if you're watching this later, comment on it. I'll see it. We'll see it. If you're interested in being a Cover Combat 7 cover submitter,
participant,
yeah, easier word. Thank you, Mike. Anyway, you're in until all the spots are filled. And I've actually had somebody inquire how much time I have. And I'm like, well, you've got this much time to get it in, I'd guess, but it's first come, first serve. I've sent out 30 invites. So if people respond to my invites, you could lose your opportunity, but don't worry. Still send me covers, because this could possibly be the thing we're going to do for Cover Combat for many Cover Combats to come.
Hello.
Right. Yep. Oh, hey, there you are. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Hey, welcome.
I just forgot it started.
So anyway, essentially, once I get full for Cover Combat 7, we will still use any submissions we get after that for subsequent Cover Combat. So there's basically no, it's too late. It'll just be okay, you've submitted it now. Cover Combat 7's full. You're going to be in Cover Combat 8, yada, yada. Right, Mike?
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
And lastly, me and Mike have decided to put a few things into the pot. We're going to have a ginormous prize for the Cover Combat champ, because it's viewer submissions. You get to vote your own cover to a win, get your friends, family, coworkers to vote you into a great prize. And, I've actually told somebody who actually inquired about this too, like, what's the prize? And I'm like, well, we don't exactly have that specified yet. And they're like, well, how's that supposed to have any value? And I'm like, well, because, okay, I guarantee it'll be worth $100 at least of value. But I would say that's probably lowballing it from what we've talked about, right, Mike?
Yeah.
So it's
one of the items I already have set aside, and we'll add a few things to it. But
yeah. Anyway, it's going to be a humongous high value prize for the champion cover of Cover Combat 7. So get your cover submissions in whenever you're ready. We still got plenty of space for Cover Combat 7. So that's it. Sound good?
Yep.
Thank you, studio audience. Okay. All right. Are we ready to get into talking more aliens and dead people?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, so as I teased and just said, right again now, aliens and dead people. Let's start with aliens. Hey Ty, you got a lot. I think you got a lot of feedback going on right now. Hold on a second. Let me check. Yeah, it's you. I just muted you, and all the feedback's gone. I think it's because of whatever screen you're looking at. I think
You
the
hear
fact.
now?
No, now it's gone. Yeah.
That must be my fan.
That's much better. Okay, good. Okay, yeah. All right. So anyway, I watched more episodes of Invasion on Apple TV. I said last week that 4 and 5 were already out, so I was going to watch them right away. And then episode 6 came out this week. So I watched episode 4, 5, and 6 of Invasion. Recap real quick. First season, aliens have invaded the planet. We defeated them, we thought. Season 2, we were corrected. We didn't actually defeat them. We just kind of made them angry. And there's more problems than ever in season 2. And then to recap up to where I was, which was episode 3, we thought we defeated them again. We basically are following 4 main groups of characters here. And I keep saying Asian scientist, but I remember her name now because I've watched enough episodes. Mitsuki is her name. So a scientist named Mitsuki came up with this plan to decloak aliens. Because they were actually bringing aliens to the planet unbeknownst to us. We didn't know how they were doing it, at least. Because they were cloaked, she decloaked them. When we decloaked them, or she decloaked them, whatever, we nuked them. And again, I think I mentioned it seemed like a finale episode for episode 3 because we thought we beat them again, and everybody's all cheering and happy. But there's more to the season, of course. And what the new thing that has happened, and this obviously is a trend, only twice so far in a season and a half of Invasion. But every time we do something good and think we won, all it did was tick the aliens off,
Of course.
So basically they send in round 2 of aliens, bigger, badder aliens. And, I obviously talked about a dog horse on last week's episode. Stay tuned to that on this week's episode. But they're like these dog pig alien type things that have kind of a predator head. It's like really weird, but they're like super fast, and they acted like these things are not acted. These things are way tougher than the first aliens that we essentially took out by nuking all of the alien ships. They were just kind of these globs of black, gel that would kind of roll around, but they had like spiky arms that would come out, and they'd have a mouth that would eat you and all this stuff. With these new aliens, like I said, they're kind of a mix between a dog and like a pig and like a predator. It's like they're super fast, and they call, I don't know whether this is just something it's just something humans came up with. They call them hunter killers, and they're super fast. They don't seem as agile, and they don't have the same possible maneuvers as the squid blob aliens had, but they're really tough. Like fire worked on the squid blobs, but fire doesn't even work on these things. And you can shoot them 5,000 times, but their predator helmet helps, protects them. So they're it seems like they're not quite as agile, but they're much more of a baddie. They're tough to take down, So the aliens send in this new batch of hunter killers, and of course, as you can imagine, they start wreaking havoc everywhere, and that's kind of where we are as far as aliens are concerned. And then this season got into, again, reminding about season one, how I complained, like through a thick portion of the middle, it was very slow and drawn out and didn't really seem to move the story forward. They're kind of doing this again now with episode 4, 5, and 6. Like, so the cast of characters we're following is Mitsuki, the Asian scientist, the mother with her 2 children, the combat operator vet, and a bunch of kids, like kind of has a Goonie Stranger Things feel. They're kind of like out on their own, trying to save the world by themselves. And
yeah, like we would let our kids go out all by themselves in a situation like this.
well, they were on a school bus and got separated from their parents when when everything hit the fan, and they made their way back home. I think that was last season, and discovered everybody was gone. They didn't know, they still to this point don't know if their parents are dead or just they had to evacuate when the aliens attacked. So they don't know where their parents are. I think maybe a couple of them know for a fact their parents are dead, but a couple of them are still kind of not knowing whether they're dead or just they can't find them because they had to evacuate while they were on a school field trip or something.
Right.
But one of the kids was the major component. Like I said, really reminds you of 11 from Stranger Things. That was the major factor in what they thought was defeating the aliens the first time, because he has like this mind link with the aliens. So anyway, we get into following these groups around, investigating. Like the combat vet is investigating. We don't even really know what, but it seems to give us a vibe that Sam Neill might be making a return. The mother and the 2 kids have joined up with a mercenary group, and the kids are in search of their buddy that they thought beat the aliens the first time, to see if he can do the same thing again, but on a bigger scale, whatever. And they actually find him. And then Mitsuki is actually, if you just to remind you from my previous episode too, she's on the down ship, which she thought she was winning the war to begin with an alien alive on this down ship that she's kind of doing this mind link thing with. And she actually came with a plan because of this mind link she has with this alien to defeat what they thought defeat the aliens the second time. And actually this visual, this poster that I've got up is actually this episode 6 is the focus, or it's focused on what's happening in this poster. Mitsuki is actually really like hyperlinking with this alien on the down ship, and it's like taking her to other places, and it's like visually appearing differently to her in different ways, and really messing with Mitsuki's mind. And it's not really helping come up with a plan to beat the aliens, but that's kind of where we are. So the kids have just hooked up with the kid that saved the world first, and we don't know where that's going to go. Mitsuki is in a mind meld with this alien on the down ship. We don't know where that's going to go. The combat vet is in a cornfield trying to find Sam Neill. He doesn't know that. It's just that's the impression they're giving me. And the mother and her 2 children are one of her children actually seems to be like the kid that beat the aliens the first time too. He starts like having this mind game with the pig boars or the dog pigs, whatever aliens. He actually stops one just by yelling at it and like doing this kind of force thing from his head. So this show's all over the place. If you can't tell. What were you gonna say? Did you say something, Mike?
No, yeah, it seems like it's crazy.
It is. It's crazy.
So the portion you're in right now that's kind of not as exciting to you. Right. Is it kind of the same thread that goes back to season 1 that was
so
dreadful too?
Yeah, I use the analogy that it reminds me of how I didn't like the middle section of season 1, but I will say this: it's better. Okay. But and it's a little different because we do get an occasional again, I've compared this to The Walking Dead too, where zombies are kind of the backdrop, but you get an occasional zombie that'll just pop up and mess with a plan, you know.
Yeah.
So we get a little bit more of that through this, episodes 4 through 6, but the meat of 4 through 6 is just kind of dramatic talking and planning and investigating, which, especially since I watched all 3 of these together, it wasn't bad. But if I'd have watched them separately and been waiting a week, I kind of feel like I'd have been disappointed in that one. I'd have been disappointed in that one, that kind of thing. And let me just, the writing in this show is just, it's pretty bad. Like, some of the dialogue doesn't make sense to me. And one thing that really stood out to me with the characters is they aren't consistent whatsoever. Like, they'll have one character that'll be like, rah, 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 let's go get them. We can beat these. And then that same character, like 10 minutes later in the same episode, will be like, oh, we can't beat them. We got to run. There's no winning, And then another character 1 second will be like supportive and like, I love you, you can do this, you're strong, blah, blah, blah. And then 10 minutes later, that same character will be like, you're a piece of crap. You shouldn't be here. I don't know why you exist. It's like if
there's different writers.
What's that?
It sounds like they're different writers.
Yeah, it could be, because it's like if they would just, like, the characters flip-flop personalities so much, it seems. If they just didn't flip-flop them, it would be the same story. You would just have different characters have different lines. You know what I mean? Right. It's like, but anyway, so that writing kind of is rough in my opinion. And then there's a big thing, and actually this reminded me of Ashoka. Again, stay tuned for Ashoka later, but there's a scene where these I keep saying that, dog pigs are chasing down this group of mercenaries and this lady with the 2 kids, and it's like they all have them in their sights and they're done. They're toast. These dog pigs, which have torn through cities in minutes, are on top of one small convoy of like 4 trucks and 30 people, and they're going to wipe them out. And then all of a sudden they just kind of back away. They're just like, chill, And I thought it was actually something that was going to be kind of a foreshadowing. This was, we're going to learn something. We're going to learn why they just backed off, but nothing came to fruition. It's all like they just backed away because the story needed these people to survive a little longer. And then another thing too is this, again, Walking Dead. You remember the first season of Walking Dead with the little girl that kind of, her mother, Carol's little daughter, lost her. Yeah. What was her name? Do you remember, Mike?
I don't.
Me neither. But anyway, there's a scene like that in this. It obviously didn't take forever, but one of the daughters go missing. Sophia. Karen's got it. Sophia.
Yeah, top of it.
Yeah, she is. So one of the kids of the woman the mother we're following, she has a daughter and a son. Oh wait, no, I'm mistaken that. This is another group in the mercenary. But anyway, there's a daughter missing. So the mother that we are following with the daughter and son goes in to save her. And she's like missing way back where that we just saw like 100 dog pigs, and there's no way she's going to survive. And then she's just chilling there. She finds her and she's just chilling, where there's a lot of things like that. I'm enjoying this show again with my review on these shows. I'm going to give my opinion of whether I'm enjoying it or not, and then critiquing the actual quality of it. I'm enjoying this show overall still. Okay. It's keeping me interested enough to where I'm going to continue. But yeah, since I watched 4 through 6 at the same time, I can't tell you whether it was 4, 5, or 6. Might have been a little bit of each one. But man, the quality in the writing and the dynamics of the story, how it plays out, man, it's like a 4.5, 5 in these episodes. It just has all kinds of issues for me. But like I said, I was still overall enjoying it, and it's probably because it is so crazy. Be trying to describe everything where we are at this point, and it sounds crazy. That's totally how I feel while I'm watching the show. Which, even if it's not that quality of writing and moving forward and stuff like that, that's still a compelling thing to watch. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
right, yeah.
So I'm going to continue. I think this might be over soon. By the time I get back to reviewing this, I'm probably going to review the rest of the season. I'm going to not review it next week, give it another couple episodes, and that might actually end season 2. But I could be wrong on that. But anyway, Invasion, Apple TV. I'm enjoying it, but the quality of 4, 5, and 6 is like a 4.5. So. All right, and then I got around to watching Daryl Dixon, Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, on Amazon Prime, and I did confirm this. We talked about it last week. It's on AMC Plus that I watched free through Amazon Prime. So I watched episode 3, and you know how in the previous shows I've been accidentally saying Paris, and I said it's not Paris, it's not Paris, because it's just France, you know.
Yeah.
Well, this episode he makes it to Paris, so we're officially in Paris now. But man, Mike, I cannot wait. I need you or Pat or even Tyler, but obviously Mike, you're my Walking Dead aficionado. I need you to watch this episode. Just watch the first 10 minutes for me, okay?
Well, I'll get there. I watched Thursday night. I watched the first episode.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man, does that mean I need to watch spoilers right now then?
No, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay, thanks. Thank God.
And because I listened to your reviews and I still enjoyed the episode.
Okay, good. Okay.
And so tonight I'm going to try to get 2 and 3.
Okay.
And then during the week, I'll try to catch up because it comes out Sunday.
I don't actually know what day it comes out. I just keep watching it Friday night. So
yeah. So yeah, by next week's show, I'm going to try to have been caught. I'm going to try to catch up.
Okay, cool. Okay, that'd be great. I'd have Ahsoka with Pat and Tyler if he's here, and then Walking Dead with you to kind of go back and forth on. That's great. I love it. Yeah. So anyway, man, the first 10 minutes of this, I was thinking this to myself, and this might be an old school reference at this point, but I was thinking, man, Daryl Dixon jumped the shark in episode 3. I'm like, this is so horrible in multiple ways. So do you remember? Okay, you remember From Dusk Till Dawn with George Clooney and Quentin Tarantino, right?
Yeah, Selma Hayek.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Selma Hayek. Yeah. Give me a second. All right, I'm sorry. I cannot joke around about Selma Hayek. That is my wife's arch nemesis. But anyway,
like they fight all the time.
Right. So anyway, do you remember when they first became vampires in they were, that's what's cool about From Dusk Till Dawn. It's like half the movie is not vampire stuff, and then all of a sudden vampire crap hits the fan, right?
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Yeah. Do you remember the band that was on the stage when the one was using one of the dead bodies for a guitar and stuff? Right?
Yeah, Torso.
Yeah. Man, at the beginning of Daryl Dixon, so there's this little, again, another side quest, they decide on their journey to get this boy that's the savior of humanity, on the journey to get him to where he needs to go. They stop by this random city that the nun is aware of to radio ahead for, I guess for help or directions or something like that for their ultimate destination as to where this little boy needs to get to.
Yeah, I think she said they had checkpoints
on the way
to the destination.
Yeah. So she's taking him to one of these checkpoints. They meet up with this guy who's bonkers like that. You can tell that right out of the gate. He's just like crazy because they're like, okay, listen, just shut up, dude. Where's the radio? And he goes to the radio and he hands it to him, but it's got no wires or anything on it. Like, what happened to the radio? And he goes, oh, I took the parts to fix my speaker. And all he did was hook up this sound system to play this music. And he takes them into this auditorium. He's like, come on, watch this concert. He literally has a band on the stage that he becomes the orchestra for. I mean, the conductor for. Yeah. That's all dead people and dead parts. like
not zombies? Are they like zombies?
No, they're zombies. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. This is The Walking Dead. He's got the walking, like Michonne used to have him chained up to protect her from whatever, He's got them all chained, like he's got one chained up to a drum set with his arms flailing, and he hits like the drums and cymbals and stuff. And he's got one that's just got a guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Karen. It's totally ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in any Walking Dead anything. It's It just did not fit at all. But thank God, the only good news I got about it is it was short-lived. It was literally just a little preview scene. It wasn't even a preview, it was the scene, but it was a short-lived scene just before the credits actually roll, and get you into the mix of what the episode is actually going to be about. It's like this really short thing, and thank God for it. It was so horrible and so dumb. And like I said, did you ever see From Dusk Till Dawn, Tyler?
No.
Oh man, you got to watch it, because that's what's crazy about From Dusk Till Dawn. It's like not a vampire movie. It's like this crazy, I don't even want to talk about it too much, but it's just a crazy movie not involving vampires until like you got like 30% of the movie left. You get like 3/4 of the way, or 25%. You get 3/4 of the way through the movie before you even see a vampire. And then when the vampires come, it just gets crazy. But it kind of fit, This Walking Dead tomfoolery did not fit in Walking Dead for me. It just, anyway, like I said, I'm glad it was short-lived. So anyway, they make it to Paris. That's the other thing about this whole zombie band craziness. It wasn't even like necessary. Like they literally just did that before the opening credits started. And then they finally make it to Paris. And they team up with, again, people that the nun are aware of and people that know her and and the leader of the, nunnery, whatever they call it, where they were, to basically deliver the savior of humanity. And of course, Walking Dead's over. There's no more episodes after episode 3. Mike, it's over. He delivered the boy. Everything worked out fine, and that was it. It's a real short season.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. Game over. Psych. No, that's not the way it works out, Mike. It can never work out that way. And of course, right out the gate, everybody starts acting weird, and of course, Daryl's the only one with spider sense in this. Daryl's all like, hey, what? You don't seem right. That kind of thing, with all of these guys that, the nun lady's just like trusting and loving and all bubbly and happy to see, So Daryl basically delivered the boy. He could just check out at this point because that was the deal,
Yeah, that's how you stay alive.
Right. But of course, in true heroic Daryl fashion, he's like, okay, I guess I better stick around because there's something fishy going on here, right? So they end up going to this club because, of course, in all post-apocalyptic worlds, there's this one sweet place that everybody hangs out, So they go to the club, and they actually find... And I actually touched on this last episode, but I didn't specify too much. We talked about the nun's backstory. We found out she wasn't always a nun, and she really isn't officially a nun now. She just kind of landed there and took on the name of a nun, But we kind of got her backstory a little bit. And at the end of her backstory, she's got this boyfriend that's like saving her or whatever, trying to save her, that she just abandons, like leaves in the midst of the chaos and steals his car, right? So guess who shows up at the bar? Guess who's actually the owner and who's running the bar, Mike?
Her ex.
Her ex, right. So that was kind of tough, and Daryl, of course, doesn't trust this guy, so he has to punch him in the face to kind of get the ball rolling, which that happens. Not actually the boyfriend guy, but this other guy that's like protecting the boyfriend guy. But anyway, so Daryl's stirring the pot in the midst of a place where there's only him and 2 girls and a little boy, and they're in a whole totally new town with like 100 characters, and Daryl starts punching people in the face. It's like it's so Daryl. That's so Daryl.
Well, I'm glad to hear that the whole season isn't just him delivering this. This kid to that town up north.
Yeah, exactly. And then also too, if you remember from what I mentioned before in episode 1, Daryl kills this guy that ends up being the brother of one of the leaders of the crazy mercenary cult that's around the nunnery. And then that's how all the nuns died. And that's why they had to escape and everything.
Yeah.
Well, that guy shows up again. He finds out what Daryl is, Yep. So he shows up. So now we got the nun's ex, which isn't exactly too happy about being the ex, that's heading up the place that she's kind of considering this, safe space. But now we got, the brother of the guy that Daryl killed in episode 1 shows up looking for Daryl, and the crap hits the fan.
Yep.
In the midst of all this crap hitting the fan, we actually find out that, if you remember again, the nun's sister is the mother of the savior boy. Okay. We find out the nun's ex-boyfriend is the father of the savior boy. Do the math on that. How that happened. So all this talking and all this madness is happening. The savior boy gets mad, and guess what he does? What do all kids do when they're mad?
He runs away.
He runs away. So that's where we are at the end of episode 3. The boy has run away, and of course they give trailers for the future of the season. And it seems like what we're in store for the future of the season is all these miscellaneous parties trying to find the boy. So aside, sorry, what'd you say?
No, so what I learned from episode 1 was don't trust anybody. It seems,
yeah, right. I know.
Anyone.
Yeah. Yeah, especially that old. You're talking about the old man and the young lady, right? Yeah. Totally.
And even the nun, you always trust in the nun. Then it seems like they get up there, and guess what? Everything isn't as she's led you to believe.
Yeah, she wasn't crazy to kill him or anything, but she was definitely deceiving him. That's
deceiving. Yeah. Daryl's just out. Daryl's like, look, I'm by myself. I just want to do this, but they suck him in with lies and deceit.
Yeah. And Daryl's a big softy. That's the thing. Yeah. I think that's why Daryl's got to be arguably, if not the most popular, but obviously one of the most popular Walking Dead characters, because he's obviously this brute tough guy that can take care of business, but he's a big softy at heart, and that comes out occasionally,
Yeah, he's got a conscience and
conscience,
values and things like that. But it comes right down to it. He'll mess you up if you need it.
Exactly.
If you need messing up, Daryl will do it.
Exactly. So anyway, I'm enjoying Daryl Dixon a lot. Like it was so all over the place, especially with the I kept trying to think of a cool thing I could say during the episode to compare the band to, of course, what real band, right, Mike? What band does the dead rock band at the beginning of Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon? What band is that? What band? Real life band?
I don't know. It would remind me of a band, Gwar.
That's true. Okay, visually, yeah, and
just how shocking they were.
I was thinking the Grateful Dead, though, of course. No? Okay, cool. Okay, yeah, the Grateful Dead. The
hippies.
Yeah, the hippies. Because they're dead. The Grateful Dead, and
it's all the playing words on the dead, not them literally.
Right. Just a play on words.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was thinking something like, even though they're zombies, they might be kind of grateful because I'm sure that guy feeds them. If he wants
the cover band, the Ungrateful Dead. Thank you. I'll be here all day.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying this a lot. In a kind of a train wreck way. I even enjoyed that Ungrateful Dead band. But anyway, the quality of it, though, I'm gonna still stick. I think I said like a 7.5 bags of popcorn, as far as the writing and continuity and all that kind of thing. I'll still go with maybe a 7.5, maybe an 8 on this one. Might have stepped up a little bit for me. I did figure an answer to my question as to why he let the donkey go, though, Mike. The wheel broke on the wagon. So they couldn't just kind of turn around and avoid the zombies. And I think he actually let the donkey go to save it.
Right. Okay. Give it a better chance of escaping instead of dragging around a broken wagon.
Exactly. Because they could just get out of the wagon and run. But the donkey was obviously attached to the wagon. So he had to unattach it so it had a chance, so.
Yeah, and this, I when I was watching the opening credits, it's got all the same creative people,
Yeah.
Scott Gimple and what's your name, I can't remember her first name. Heard, producers, executive producers, all this. It's the same creative teams from The Walking Dead are continuing on this. So, which I think is good. It keeps a constant through.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, check out The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon on AMC Plus. I'm watching it through Amazon Prime. So, all right, then let's get to the big one here. Ashoka on Disney Plus. Tyler, are you up to date?
I am.
All right, like I said, kind of how I typically do. You want to get the ball rolling? Oh, and for new viewers to the show, I'm not asking Mike if he's up to date because I already know the answer. So
Yeah, I'm gonna go make a sandwich.
Okay. Tyler, what do you have to say about Ashoka episode 7?
I thought it was really good, but at the same time frustrating.
All right, do tell. What was frustrating in general? Do you have it in general or just specific instances?
Just Sabine keeps bothering me.
Yeah.
With her, with where they're sitting, with Ezra still being in the dark, with the situation of how they got there and what's going on with Thrawn. It's just, it feels weird that she's hiding that information. It's like I understand why, but just the way Sabine's character is running right now, she's gone from really likable to annoying.
Well, I was going to ask anyway, too, kind of without interrupting you there. You say you understand why she's lying why she's not telling everything to Ezra, right?
Yeah.
The only way you can understand it is that she's being a liar, which is bad. That's why it's annoying.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and obviously he's going to be mad.
Yeah.
Well, we imagine.
It would totally change everything he thinks and everything that happens up to this point. So I was actually thinking this in the beginning, sequence of the episode with, first of all, I think the beginning sequence was about Hera on trial. Do you remember that, Ty?
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
It was annoying at first, but then, of course, Princess Leia saving the day.
Yeah, and I'm going to correct you a little bit there. Princess Leia sort of saved the day, right? I mean, technically, she did save the day, but when I say sort of, Princess Leia wasn't there. Everybody, Princess Leia did not show up, and actually, it's Senator Leia at this point.
Yeah, that was going to be my question.
Yeah, Senator Leia did not show up. It wasn't even a CGI'd version of her. There was no Senator Leia. They just name drop. This totally remind me of when people will name drop and for whatever to give them some kind of clout.
Mm-hmm.
It's like oh great way to bring Leia's name into all this as if we're gonna see her or something. I better see her, and then of course. Who knows if we will? I don't know. Anything could happen, of course. But yeah, Senator Leia gets Hera off the hook when she's essentially on some kind of trial. What was up with that one guy? Do you even know the one?
I don't remember his name, but obviously
he has
problems.
Yeah,
with believing someone like Hera, which is ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. It's kind of giving me the feel like he might be a bad guy or something.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well, that he might be like an under the table spy kind of in their system, trying to prevent her from
succeeding,
getting in Thrawn's way.
Yeah. He's definitely sus. He was far too passionately for, I don't know were they going to put her in jail or just kind of strip her title of general?
They were going to strip her title, they were just going to strip her command. And what made me extra angry about that guy is he said that these space whales, yada, yada, and the Dathomir witches and basically the whole plot of what's going on. He's like, that's ridiculous. Like, that doesn't exist. Like, space whales, are you serious? That can travel in hyperspace? Do you know what world you live in? Nothing's out of the realm of possibility. You live in the world with the Force and all this stuff with powers and crazy animals and a space whale. That's where you draw the line?
Right, right. Yeah, you live in a place that can travel from one side of the universe to the other in an instant with hundreds and probably thousands of different species of aliens that we're all aware of and live amongst regularly.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's a major history with Jedi and all kinds of other craziness. But yeah, space whales, that's ridiculous to you. It's so
that's
dumb.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Too much.
So anyway, Senator Leia basically vouches for Hera kind of after the fact and kind of sends a message saying she's the one that authorized Hera to go on the mission. So get off her back. And then, of course, they do, and they let her go. So that's kind of a very small portion of the beginning of the episode. But then what we get into is these snail turtle rock guys. Do we have a name for their species yet? Do you know, Tyler?
I don't think so.
Okay. But anyway, they have a caravan of levitating rock homes they can kind of take with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we see them kind of all traveling together with Sabine and Ezra. I've got one major question for you first, Tyler.
What?
Where were they going?
Well, last episode they said they need to just relocate. I don't think they were going anywhere in particular. They were just moving their current station somewhere else because they've already been confronted there.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm glad you remembered that. Like I said before, I forget stuff. So
yeah, he just simply said we can't stay in one place for too long, so
they were just moving. Okay, I was thinking that they hadn't shown us this, so I was just assuming that they were, because you would assume Ezra would be like, hey, how do he's like excited to get out of here, So he's like, where do we need to go to get out of here? And Sabine's like, oh, we need to go to Port Wichita over there on the west side of the planet, whatever. She like gave some, like they were heading there, wherever it is, wherever there is that would get them away in this fictitious reality that Ezra currently lives in, which is we're getting out of here. And Sabine, again, is just deceiving him. That's what my first instinct. But anyway.
Nope.
So then, okay, thank you again for correcting me there. So then basically everybody becomes aware of that everyone's together and exactly where they are. And Thrawn and Morgan send what's the new gold-faced trooper's name?
Enoch.
Yeah, send Enoch and his troopers out to they're also aware that Ahsoka's here now too. So they send Enoch out with his troopers. The samurai Tusken guys are headed to take out Ezra and Sabine along with Balin and Shin. So there's this big, awesome battle, multiple battles that are getting ready to happen. Oh, that's the other thing too. There's a space battle. This is all typical, which we love, Star Wars fashion. You got multiple battles going on. You got Ahsoka in kind of an individual battle against Balin. You've got Ezra and Sabine battling samurai Tuskens and troopers, and you've got Shin, and then you've got the droid in Ahsoka's ship in space that's being assaulted by Thrawn's 1942 World War II jet fighters. So it's all happening all at once. So this is epic. Doesn't that sound epic, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you said, it's typical Star Wars stuff. A lot of different battles going on at one time.
Yeah, which you love that too, right?
Good. It was slightly. Sorry.
Yeah, I do. As long as the editing cuts aren't,
Right.
so fast. Let me get into the battle and be into it, and then cut away a little bit. Yeah.
Right. Gotcha. What were you gonna say, Tyler?
It was a little bit disappointing that Ezra kind of pulled a Luke.
Yes,
but
that's what I was.
The way he went about it was obviously much different, and it didn't feel as bad because I feel like that's something that Ezra would kind of do.
Have you seen that meme?
Yeah, where it's just photoshopped on Luke's face throwing away his lightsaber. Yeah.
Yeah. They photoshopped Sabine's face over Rey's face to Ezra's face over Luke's face in the lightsaber toss scene. Yeah, yeah. Which is pretty funny because it's pretty spot on because Sabine offers Ezra his lightsaber to say, hey, you know, hey, let's go take care of business, which in my opinion, that actually makes sense. Ezra is the Jedi.
Right.
She's a Mando. She's got her blasters. Ezra is weaponless, you know? So I did think that was kind of hokey, but I do agree with you too, Tyler, that
I feel like it was in line with his character still, that he would want to be cocky and confident and pull something like that off.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So then we get Push Master Ezra. He's like,
yeah,
he's not only kind of a super fighting ninja, which I obviously remember Ezra from Rebels. He was definitely very agile and a good fighter and everything, but man, pushing like it's an extension of your body, like it's it's another arm or something. He was like push in, push, but he's like pushing like crazy everywhere and pulling it off with super ease, which was pretty cool looking. But then, they'd get a hold of him or whatever, and he's got some, moves and stuff too, So I'm not saying it was a bad thing for sure, but it definitely seemed a little bit off for me. I don't know whether maybe it was the whole choreography of it or whatever, but we've seen a lot of pushing, obviously, by Jedi, but I don't think we've seen such repetitive, instinctually quick, timed pushing. Did that strike you at all in general?
It was there. I think there was a little extra pushing compared to what we've seen, and not even just with Ezra when he was doing it with Shin too.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Wouldn't it
But
be more?
I think they don't always just totally focus on pushing, when they've got their lightsaber and other things going on. But if that's, his number one ability at the moment, he's obviously going to use it a little bit more efficiently.
And let me ask you about the pushing in general too. When he used it on the lightsaber, do you still think that was just a push, or is like it turned into kind of like a force hold? You know what I'm saying? Like, because Shin came at him right, like it seemed like it would cut half of his head off if she would have gotten through with it, and he just kind of stops it like this, and he's like holding it with a space in between his hands and the lightsaber.
Well, I think it was like kind of a push with her force going against it, because you could see the light or the blaze from her lightsaber go in the opposite direction.
I didn't notice that. I'm gonna have to notice that when I rewatch it. Okay, that's interesting. Okay,
yeah, like her lightsaber turns into like a wave kind of, because the force push is going against it.
Okay, very cool. Okay, then my next note I've got here is so then after Baylan, and this was another interesting thing too. Baylan says to Ahsoka, "You can't beat me," right? And I'm thinking, why not? This is Ahsoka,
Yeah.
She's obviously had Jedi abilities and she has a lot of training, but this goes back to, we're talking about Rey again, Rey always being called a Mary Sue because she just learns things overnight and she's like epic and can beat the Emperor in a year, whatever. Ahsoka's been practicing being a Jedi with extensive training for, what are we at now? 15 years, a long time. Yeah. But Baylan, a guy we didn't know about until Ahsoka, is like superiorly powerful, that not only can he beat her, she knows it, because all he has to do is say, "You can't beat me," to make her run, right?
I guess I didn't really have a problem with that. I think it was just she didn't need to waste her time right now, because she wanted to get to Ezra.
So he says, "You can't beat me," and she says, "I don't have to."
Right.
So you're saying that wasn't her conceding that she can't beat him. She just had other priorities and she just used it as a time to get out of there.
Yeah, I think, he's just using it as a scare tactic, being confident, in a fight, saying
And she just
that sort
lets
of
him
thing.
believe it, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. That's how I felt about it.
Okay. So then Ahsoka, she gets back on the main point of being here to get Ezra and Sabine, runs from Balin, and then actually that's when Balin sends Shin into the fight with Ezra and Sabine. And then Balin bails. Balin bails.
Yeah, he parts ways because you remember that conversation he had with Shin that they were going to part.
Yeah.
He had different priorities. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So now we don't know what the different priorities that Balin has. And it seems like Thrawn is not too happy about it too, right?
Yeah, he was concerned. Like, where did he go?
Yeah. What happened? What happened to or what did he say? I guess we can't trust our mercenaries or something like that, making Morgan kind of eat crow right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he was never really concerned about him in the first place.
Say that again?
He was never really concerned about him in the first place of what was going to happen to him.
Right. Yeah. But I think it was just the fact that it was kind of I think it was a major diss to Morgan, like, see what happens when you trust these mercenaries kind of dig. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I took it,
Maybe I'd have to watch that part again to get that feeling, but that wasn't my initial impression.
All right, I'll watch the lightsaber scene again. You watch the Thrawn's disappointment diss to Morgan. And then the only other thing I have to say about the whole battle sequence before I get into my biggest gripe of this episode is Sabine starts pulling off some Wonder Woman action. She starts using her gauntlets to like deflect lasers. Did you know that?
That's pretty normal though.
I think it's always incidental. I don't feel like it's a planned. I think that's obviously what's great about Mandalorian armor is that they're protected by it, but I don't think I've ever seen them use a gauntlet like a timing thing, because that laser was coming right for her face, and she pulled. This is like Jedi reaction type stuff, which we're kind of alluding to Sabine having these kind of abilities anyway. So it's fine. But, that kind of took me, when that happened, I was like, I wanted to pause.
I feel like I kind of remember Mando doing that.
DM intentionally deflecting lasers like a Wonder Woman wristband.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to watch all of the Mandalorian seasons too to see if.
Or maybe not. Maybe I'm talking out of my butt because he's always got a helmet on, so he wouldn't even need to.
Exactly, Tyler. Don't even.
But she doesn't have her helmet, so she just realized I need to start doing that now.
Thank you. So anyway. Did you have anything more to say about the battle in general? What'd you think of the? Okay, I got more to say actually. What'd you think of the whole? And again, I compared this to Ewoks last week. I'm going to do it again. How we had to get, and me and Johnny were actually talking about. That's his biggest, I guess, complaint about Return of the Jedi was how they, had to use Ewoks in a realistic way, but kind of a primitive way to fight stormtroopers. We got a little bit of that action.
Yeah.
With the snail rock turtles fighting the stormtroopers as well. They're like throwing like what big rocks. Tree seeds or something and rocks and stuff at them. So it again took me back to kind of classic Ewok and even Gungan to an extent. Gungan kind of battle tactics against superior firepower, but managing to win.
Yeah. It leads you back to the old, like, what's the purpose of a stormtrooper's armor?
Right.
He's going to get knocked out by a snail with an arm this wide, throwing a rock at him.
Right. Exactly. So,
it was hokey, but I think it was, still just cool, fun.
It was fun.
Scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Completely agreed. Yeah. If I didn't do this for a living, yeah. But anyway, if I didn't have this job, I wouldn't be saying anything about it. I'd just be enjoying it. It's fun, but I just want people to be aware when they're watching it, that kind of thing happens. But anyway, then I'm to complete this episode, and here's my biggest beef.
My biggest beef is at the end as well.
Okay. Do you want to go first then? Actually,
Sure. Everything's a little too reunion happy for me. When Ashoka gets there and meets them, she's smiling. Like, this is not a happy moment. Because
let me interrupt you right there. Let me interrupt you right there.
Uh-huh.
Because my beef is just before that.
Okay.
But then I'm going to taper into your beef. Okay.
Okay.
So it seems like, and again, this is total, typical Thrawn stuff. He's like strategically one step ahead. He doesn't actually care about winning this battle. It's just been his plan all along to basically distract them. And if they kill them, it's incidentally good. But if they lose some troopers and they don't win, it's fine, because this entire time, all he's been doing is working out, getting the coordinates or the energy for the power cell or whatever to get the Star Destroyer away from this planet. Correct?
Correct.
Here's my beef. One, they were winning. Would you say they were winning? Not when Ahsoka, obviously Ahsoka showing up would change things, but in the current state they were kind of on their heels. Remember, they had the snail rock turtle guys kind of do a caravan like out in the prairie with the Indians.
Yeah.
Where they made them do a big circle to defend themselves because they were kind of reeling back. I felt like they were losing.
I don't know if they were losing. I think it was kind of a even battle, but he was losing a lot more troopers than he wanted. So it was kind
I thought he didn't care about losing any. I thought that's the impression I got from him.
Oh, really? I have the opposite impression, because he's mentioned multiple times about pulling out because he can't waste any resources.
Oh, I thought Morgan was saying something about that, and he said
like they stopped chasing Ahsoka when they were in the graveyard because he was losing ships.
Okay.
So I think it's because they were holding their own against those troopers. He was like, all right, this is pointless. We just need to get out of here. I don't care about killing them. It's not his priority.
Okay. Well, with that interpretation, we differ a little bit on. Mm-hmm. But I think you're gonna track with me on my biggest complaint about it is if this all was a plan to distract essentially, and while he got the power up or whatever to be able to get out of there, why wouldn't he wait until they actually accomplished it? Because I feel like they set us up for the next episode to where, Ahsoka, Sabine, Ezra are going to interrupt the process of him leaving. I felt like it was a little foreshadowing the fact that Thrawn had more time to wait, but pulled his troops away. That this was just a setup for, okay, Ezra, Sabine, and Ahsoka can come straight at Morgan and Thrawn now and interrupt the process of him escaping, which is necessary for the story. But again, writing wise, to try to make it logical, in my opinion, he would either leave his troops in the fight long enough to complete the whole power process.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, to keep him distracted so he can get away.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
Or not state that that's what his mission was. Like, I felt like him stating it was the bad writing part of it. Like him saying that was kind of the purpose, and it didn't matter because they were powering up and they're almost there, or whatever he said,
Mm-hmm.
He didn't need to say that, because then that didn't make sense to me that he pulled them away before the process was ended, aside from foreshadowing for the next episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, then we see that, and then now talk about your reunion. What were you going to say? Because the reunion with Ahsoka getting with them happens just after we see Thrawn make this decision about, pulling his troops out,
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it should be a happy moment. When it is per se, because they're finally all together again, and she's found Sabine and she's with Ezra. So it's nice. But the situation at hand of how it happened isn't fun.
Right.
This isn't like a let's be happy and hug. And I know Ahsoka's not like a jerk or assertive, most of the time. So I guess I can see she doesn't waltz in there and say, Sabine, what the hell was that? Because she saw from the map when she like force felt it or whatever,
Right.
what Sabine did and what exactly happened.
Right.
Directly helping them get to Thrawn, which is obviously a big no-no.
Yes.
So it's the fact that, yeah, when she sees him and she's not immediately confronting her and telling Ezra what the hell just happened, it's still bothering me that we've got 2 episodes of Ezra and he has no idea what's going on.
Right.
I think that's my biggest gripe with just the episodes in general. They're great, but just that one little plot point of Ezra still being in the dark is bothering me.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it would have, again, writing. Filoni, take notes. All you had to do in that situation is have Ahsoka come up and give Ezra a hug because she's happy to see him, and then look over at Sabine and read her the riot act.
Yeah, right.
That would have been perfect, right?
This is like the 3rd mistake she's made, of being dumb. So at this point, it would be more valid for Ahsoka to confront her immediately about her stupid decisions, because she just risked the fate of the galaxy to see Ezra again.
Exactly. So anyway, Ahsoka, episode 7 again. I'm enjoying it. This one was fun, but definitely was frustrating while I watched it. But so I'm gonna give this one a 7 as well, maybe 6.5, 7. This one took a little bit of a downturn as far as everything making sense and not having any complaints. I definitely had a few more complaints in this one. So, but overall, again, enjoyable. And I'm having fun with Ahsoka. So check it out on Disney Plus.
Sabine also needs to start learning that her lightsaber is a lot more effective when somebody's 2 feet in front of your face than a couple blasters.
Yes.
Or when she's hand-to-hand combat with one of those fake Tusken Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah. She does.
Because every time she starts fighting, she whips out the guns, which is cool at range, but then she gets 3 of them in her face, and it still takes her 5 minutes to pull out the lightsaber. I'm like, what are you doing?
Right. Oh, I wouldn't have mentioned that with the dog horse too. Dog horse is riding in the snail caravan. Why isn't he like just walking beside it like he's a horse, dog thing? I thought it was kind of hokey that he peeks his head out of the snail turtle rock caravans tank.
Hey, they like to rest too.
Whatever. It was probably at that point I was annoyed by a few other. You know how it goes. Every time it just snowballs for me. As soon as there's one little annoying thing, then I notice the next one. Then there's 2, and now I'm like, oh man, what kind of trash episode is this? And then there's 3, and I'm like, oh my god, what are they doing to Star Wars? Whatever. So, but again, ending it on a high note. Check out Ahsoka. I'm still enjoying it. It's fun.
Thanks for your input, Uncle Mikey.
Yeah, Mike, do you need me to even ask you for an input at all?
No.
I don't want to leave you out, but, I feel like,
Yeah, I haven't watched a single episode. I've seen.
I feel bad. It's like the last review where I have just no idea what's going on, so I can't say anything.
Yeah. You actually planning? You still have it in your mind that you're planning on getting to that someday, though? Because I was excited about this being a possibility for you. Because didn't you say the family wanted to watch it? No one's prodded you at all.
Yeah. That's the thing. We'll all enjoy it. It's just not on anybody's radar. Mark is so engrossed in football that that's pretty much all that's on his mind. Cora doesn't enjoy Star Wars anything.
Gotcha.
What?
I know. Emily and I are both getting DNA tests done to make sure she's ours.
All right, well then that makes more sense.
I feel like if my kid didn't like Star Wars, I'd be like, well, that's too bad because I'm watching Ahsoka. It's,
Mike's nicer than Raymond's.
Well, I can turn it on and watch it. They'll just be in their room. Mark will be playing Madden, and Mark plays Madden, and then he has his phone on YouTube right in front of him, watching other people play Madden.
hey, I'm a culprit of that. I got a monitor here next to my laptop, so when I'm actually playing Xbox, I got Twitch on with somebody also playing Apex Legends.
All right. Anyway, moving on. Are you ready, Mike, to show us what awesome covers are coming out and see how it's possible that we could see a Jokerized cover in the pick 3?
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna do an intro to this?
All right, what do you got?
Did you guys hear that, or did it not work?
What'd you say?
Oh, I unmuted myself mid-intro and said, are you going to do an intro to this?
Oh, I heard you say something. I didn't make out what it was, though. Yeah.
No.
Sorry about it. Sorry, I missed it. That was hilarious.
Damn it. Rewind.
While you guys were talking, the music was still playing on my computer.
Oh, geez.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Oh, man, that's last week's.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, what's happening?
All right, this is going to take a minute.
Oh, you thought you had this week's up and it was last week's?
Well, I thought I put this, yes, and the short answer.
Okay.
I thought I know Patrick sent it to me, and then I thought yeah, that's it right there.
Got it?
I thought I airdropped my laptop already. I'm going to airdrop the wrong one. So just talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to go ahead and find this.
I was literally just taking that moment to take care of something I needed to take care of. So I don't know. I didn't feel well. Ty, what do you got to fill? Filler, go.
This week was kind of hard for me.
Really?
My pick 3 was kind of like the 3 that I even liked.
Oh wow, I thought it was a good way. Yeah, that's why I love this group, because we're all so different. I felt that way last week, but this week I thought was pretty strong. I had a tough time narrowing it to 3. I think there was obviously, well, I shouldn't say obviously, but definitely one. I think there was possibly 2 that were sure like out the gate for me, but I had a hard time picking between a few for the third one because I thought they all were pretty good.
Yeah, I thought they were all real strong this week.
Yeah,
it's not like any of them are bad. And
Karen's chiming in. She thought it was a great week too.
Yeah. All right, let's see if this worked this time. I think it did. I clicked on the correct one.
All right, sweet. It's up.
Okay. Not for me. There it is. All right. Waiting for the audience to quit. Okay. So we'll start off with Immortal X-Men number 16 from Mark Brooks. Ghost Rider Annual number 1. Valerio. These names are like 12 syllables. Gian Giordano. Valerio. We'll go with Mr. Valerio. Batman 138, Chrissy Zolo. Poison Ivy 15, David Nakayama. X-Men 27, Paulo Rivera. The Joker, The Man Who Stopped Laughing 11, Ben Oliver. Transformers number 1, Scotty Young. Batman Adventure Continues, number 8, Gustavo Duarte. Vampirella Dead Flowers number 1, Sarah Frazetta. And Shazam number 4, John Timms. So those are 10 books.
Go ahead and repeat that, Mike. The clapping was started over you.
Yeah. It probably starts like 2 seconds before I start talking, but it doesn't come through on my side.
Right. So you were getting ready to say that's where you were.
Yeah, 10 books that are coming out this Wednesday, October 4th. I picked these 10 from over 500. So it's Dynamite's one of the worst companies with variants. They have, like 10 books coming out and 80 covers.
Well, Tyler, I want to hear, obviously you made the statement that you had a tough time just picking 3 that you liked, really. I know you're not saying they're horrible. I know you're saying they're good. It's just partially what you liked. Man, all 10 of these up in front of me, again, I'm just reminded, man, this is a really great week. Ironically enough, I think the one I like the least is probably going to be at least number 2, possibly number 1 this week.
So I'll go through. We got X here with Apocalypse. It's pretty cool. I just think he's ugly, I guess.
Well, Apocalypse is ugly. That's not the fault of the artist, though.
I know. It's just not. I don't know. He's not my guy.
Oh man, I think that's an epic one.
Yeah,
it is.
It's hard for me to find a Mark Brooks piece of work that isn't amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know how he does that with colored pencils too. Well, I mean, it's not all colored pencils. He uses different mediums and stuff, but what he can do with a colored pencil, insane.
No, it does look good, but it wasn't like I gotta pick this one, just for my taste.
Mm-hmm.
And then I picked Ghost Rider. I think it's awesome. The kooky kid covers aren't necessarily my taste, but I know it's good. I like it.
Oh, you're getting razzed. You're getting razzed by the audience.
Karen's a kooky kid. Love cover.
I think I picked a Poison Ivy. And then with the X-Men, 2 of the covers being connected in one kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why.
What are you talking about? That's 4 covers or 3 covers in one.
That's 3 of them?
Yeah. The only thing missing is Magneto.
That makes it even worse for me. Is it just Magneto on the right?
Yeah.
I think it's great because it takes the camera angle where we were kind of beside them all, and it just swings it around to the right a little bit. And yeah, I love that cover. It's bright.
Yeah, I don't know why I wasn't feeling it for some reason.
I made the joke that obviously Mike commented a lot during Cover Combat 5 that it was an incomplete cover for X-Men number 1 with Wolverine, Cyclops, and Iceman. And I'm like, it's not incomplete. It's not complete. And now here we got, if it was complete, I'm not going to hear the end of it, I bet.
I don't like the Joker cover at all.
Oh, wow. I totally would have thought you loved that because you think...
Because I think Joker looks good, but the mask...
Joker was a perfect movie, so...
But the mask that he's holding being such a lighter color and realistic at the same time, it just looks funky. I don't like the mask that he's holding.
I love that about
it. Everything else about it looks sick.
Yeah,
I think it's great. It's like, which one's the clown?
I love it. Yeah, awesome. It's perfect.
And then, Optimus Prime. It's same thing as the Batman Halloween for me.
Kitty, yeah, gotcha.
It's cool. I can appreciate it, but not my thing. And then the Batman ones, I like that. The next one I like. I think it's funny with Joker being a gargoyle for sure.
Yeah, it's a Jokerized gargoyle.
Right. Yeah, there it is. The Jokerized gargoyle. There's your tease, Mike. Good job.
The Vampirella is nice, but not one I wanted to pick, I guess.
That is
I don't really have any gripes on it. It's just like a taste thing.
Yeah, me too. That's my least favorite, but I think it's going to be in the top 3. I'm just predicting that right now.
And then I picked Shazam as my 3rd one because I'm not a huge fan of them, but the cover is really good.
Yeah. The Vampirella was actually that's written, and I think the covers only are done by Sarah Frazetta, which is Frank Frazetta's granddaughter.
Yeah.
So that's amazing. I mean, the talent is just kept on going right through. Because I think his daughter is also a good artist. So
Yeah, I actually follow her. Yeah, she's she's good. Yeah.
mhm.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I was yawning.
Oh, I thought Mike said something actually.
No, I didn't say that.
And then
Tyler,
I picked the number 10 or picked the Shazam for my third one as well. So anyway,
here's something shocking. I put certain covers up there knowing certain people are going to vote for them. Like I pretty much knew it was going to be a lock that the Nakayama cover Kevin would vote for it. I figured I knew Marcus and Karen would vote for the Scott Young. I figured that Patrick would disqualify the Batman Adventures Continues because of the gargoyle, but I guess it wasn't gargoyle enough for him because he actually voted for that one.
he's just happy it was a different gargoyle. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. All right, so we'll start off with third place. We have
Nice.
there we go. Poison Ivy, number 15, David Nakayama.
Yep. Good stuff. Yep.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yep.
The colors are just so striking on that.
I actually like how the the weeds or whatever you want to call it are coming out of her head and stuff too. Because that looks cool for her, obviously.
Yeah. And I think earlier, privately, I think we were talking about colorists and inkers and stuff. And I think Nakayama is like Art German. I think he does everything. And he may work digital as well. Usually when they work digital, they end up doing all of it.
Yeah.
But, all right. Next up in second place, I was pleasantly surprised here that this got as many votes because I absolutely love it. We've got Joker from Ben Oliver. That was so striking.
Yeah.
It's so creepy. It's so creepy there.
It is. And, ironically enough, like I said, I love this week. I was defending this cover. I didn't pick this one though, because it's not my jam, but it's definitely a cool cover. That's for sure. I like it a lot,
I think it's just the contrast of the mask being so much brighter.
What's a mask? It's supposed to be.
Yeah.
More.
I know.
Let Uncle Mikey tell you how your opinion's wrong.
Yeah.
I know it shouldn't be Joker's skin tone, but I feel like it's too bright. I feel like it's distracting rather than adding to it.
Yeah. All right.
Still good though. Yeah.
All right, here we go. And with number 1. Oh, wait. Wait,
we
what?
gotta wait. What?
The mask is so bright, right? That there's some sort of light coming in. Okay, is that mask backlit, or why is there so much light reflecting off the mask?
Okay, I can answer that. Can I take this mic? Can I take this mic?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so imagine he had it on his face, Ty. Okay,
and
it's kind of not exactly well lit, but then he takes the mask away from his face like this, and he goes forward a little bit, so the mask is actually getting closer to the light, and he's still back in the shadow of the darkness of wherever he was originally.
Okay. Counterpoint: his hand is just as lit as his chest. So is his head just so much farther back than his chest?
Yeah, he's like this.
and you've got different materials. You've got a plastic mask, which is and it's white, which is gonna reflect the light, as opposed to a cloth glove, which is darker, which will absorb the light.
But it actually looks like he's leaning forward. So our lean back excuses.
No, he's leaning back. Look at me, Ty.
He's like this.
Yeah, he's like this. All right, Ty's right. I hate it. No, I'm just kidding.
I love it even more.
Karen,
now that we've overanalyzed it.
Yeah, Karen's saying that his face is shadowed by the mask, which then would still allow the light on the mask and his clothes and glove. Good point, Karen. I love it again. I love it.
But that would mean that the light's coming from the left side, and I don't see a shadow of his hand on his chest.
Good point, Tyler. I hate this cover.
Let's keep fighting about it.
Oh, you know what? I got it. You're wrong. All right, let's go. We got number one.
Good point, Mike. I love it.
Right.
If I see this in cover combat ever.
Oh my God. Challenge accepted. Challenge accepted.
Right.
We'll see what the masses think.
I'm gonna see if I can find Ben Oliver online and say, hey, can you help me defend this? Anyway, it's awesome.
All right.
So here we go. Number one. We had the symbol crash already. So here we are. I'm not surprised by this one. We've got Batman 138. Chrissy's there.
I'm shocked. I am shocked. I mean,
Me too.
I'm on the same page with Tyler, though. I don't know if I'd ever put a kitty, unless it was a kitty batch. I'd enjoy all of them, but I don't know whether if I'd put a kitty cover ever in my top three. But I mean, I like this cover. But man, I thought Vampirella. I thought my whole family voted for that, and I thought it was a good cover. I thought that one was going to be in the top three. But man,
Yeah, your whole family did
yeah,
vote for Vampirella. It wasn't enough.
Dadgum. Okay. Well, most of my family voted for this one too. That was the counter, right? Yeah.
My family did as well.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I did too. I voted for this one. I think it's fantastic. I actually ordered a copy of this.
It's definitely a fun cover. Actually, yeah, I was.
It's very cartoony. I wouldn't say, of course it does appeal to kids and stuff, but it's just it's a great cartoony, not Calvin and Hobbes like, but very, just fun.
Yeah, I wasn't saying kitty like it was insulting or like that it was just for kids or something. That's just, I always fail to pull out good artistic words, but just describing it, cartoony is better. I don't know if I'd ever pick a cartoony one like this for my top three with other quality covers in the running, but I can definitely appreciate it. I enjoy it. Karen's chiming in saying she thinks it's appealing to kids and girls, plus it's adorable. Okay, fair, Karen. Fair. Yeah. So in this picture, do you guys take this as some rando kid trick-or-treating, or do you think this is actually supposed to be Batman?
It's definitely some kid.
Okay.
Yeah, it's some kid. Yeah, Batman doesn't he trick or treats, but he doesn't get candy. He's saying to the bad guys, trick or treat.
Well, Batman doesn't look like this either, so that's kind of not a good argument. That's why I was questioning whether the intent was this was actually Batman or some kid trick-or-treating. Got it. Okay.
And it might be Batman, her representation of it, because she did a run of variant covers for DC of these Halloween themed covers, and they have all, the characters are all drawn in this cartoonish style. This was just the best one. The other ones, when I saw this one, I was like, oh, I can't wait to see the other ones. And the ones that I saw, they didn't stand out the way this one did.
Man, I love the border on this though. I'm definitely digging that kind of border style. Yeah.
So there you have it. If you want any of these, they come out Wednesday.
Awesome. I'm gonna be grabbing them. Good job again, Mike. Good job. I know that's Tyler disrespects it. He doesn't think you do a good job, and he's going to try to prove you wrong someday in the future. But good job. I'm just kidding.
I think him and New York Mike get together and they're like, dude, I'm so disappointed. 10 covers and only one of them is barely good.
You're right.
I guess I can vote for that one.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I will give Ty credit. He voted for all three. Where New York Mike will just send me 2.
Ty, you voted for the cartoony Batman? Oh,
No.
He had 3 votes. He didn't vote for all 3 of the winners. Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah. You only got 2 votes this week from New York Mike?
No, he's only done that a couple times. He
okay.
voted for all. He had
Not
3
this week though. Got it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he did vote for the Vampirella though.
Okay.
You guys always call me out when I say something ridiculous.
Yeah.
And it always partially makes me feel dumb because I felt like it was hard for me to pick 3. Like my initial impression of just scrolling quickly through all 10 of them, like I was like, oh, what do I pick? But then it was you guys made me analyze them here after I said such a thing.
Yeah.
And then I changed it. I was like, yeah, like 7.
You got to backpedal. Yeah. Yeah. You're my son. That, because I backpedal all the time.
Yeah,
I come out hot on something.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me hurry up and stick my foot in my mouth. There we go.
Right.
All right. Now let me fix what I said.
Right.
This is the worst pick 3 week of all time. I'm going to go buy 9 of these covers.
Right.
And what's funny, you said 9. Guess which cover? I'm going to put them back up.
That's
one
last,
of these.
it's last
Damn,
week.
that's the old one.
It's the last week.
Oh, there it is. I thought I deleted it. Okay. Guess which cover had 0 votes?
X-Men.
Correct.
Dadgummit. You know what? I bet you that's because of Cover Combat 5. Seriously, I'm not even joking. Because that's the only reason I didn't vote on it, because I was like, you know what? We've had so much back and forth about this. People are tired of seeing this.
I was really surprised. I thought, obviously, I was surprised. I put all these up thinking at least they're all going to get 1 vote.
Yeah.
Because it is a great cover. I like the new angle on it.
I love it. Yeah.
I don't.
Well, it is number 10 out of 500 that
right.
I could choose from.
It's a big job, Mike. I totally get it. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Well, good job again. That was the funnest pick 3 we've had in a while there. But anyway.
Pick 3.
Pick 3, I said.
I don't know if you're Mike Tyson or Sylvester the cat.
All right, so what the heck was that? All right, Mike, are you ready to express another opinion that people can bash you for?
What's that? My review?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right, Mike, what do you got?
I don't think you're going to bash me for this. I think you may already have plans to read this, and I think this is something that Tyler would probably want to read as well.
Okay.
I read pop up there. Ghost Rider Wolverine Weapons of Vengeance Alpha. This is Alpha. There we go. Fix my notes. I actually read Alpha, Ghost Rider 17, and Wolverine 36. I'm only reviewing the Alpha issue right now because that's a lot of story.
Yeah.
And I think this is an oversized issue. So by the time I got through all 3 of them, and I haven't read Omega yet because I just haven't received my copy. So this is by Benjamin Percy and Jeff Shaw, which is great. They've done the all 4 issues. Also, you've got Ryan Stegman did the A covers on all 4 issues, and that right there, I love consistency like that.
Yeah.
And what's funny is this normally in the past I would consider this, as I think Kevin would, a crossover. This is a crossover between Wolverine and Ghost Rider.
Right.
But after Kevin's conversation with Chris Claremont in Baltimore, this wouldn't be a crossover because Benjamin Percy is writing the whole thing. So you want to tell your story there?
Yeah, when I was getting Chris Claremont to sign my Uncanny X-Men 222, I talked to him about how I loved all of it. Oh, wait. Actually, I'm butchering that a little bit. I was getting him to sign my other X-Men, the Fall of the Mutants issue.
225, I think.
225, yeah. And I commented on how, man, I loved the Fall of the Mutants crossover was my first and still to date favorite crossover. And he goes, crossover. He kind of gave me this cross-eyed look and a cross-eyed look. Kind of Chris Claremont cross-eyed. But he just kind of gave me the side eye and he was like, what are you talking about, a crossover? I'm like, yeah, it was in, X Factor, New Mutants. He's like, that's not a crossover. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, I did all of that. It's all me. And I'm like, okay, well, that's still different character. He's like, no, you need to have Avengers in there, or somebody that's not typical in the same line of people to be a crossover. I'm like, okay, whatever. You're Chris Claremont. What do I know?
Yeah, you wrote it all.
It was a very cool conversation, though. That's for sure. It was fun. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
So anyway, yeah, this is a crossover.
Right.
All right, so it's narrated by Wolverine, which I think is pretty cool, and it opens with an ominous scene there where Wolverine is talking to Ghost Rider, and he's saying it's happening again. So you're like, uh-oh, what's happening again? So then they flash back to an orphan, and he's trying to get into the Xavier school. A woman from the orphanage has taken him there, trying to get in, and Wolverine's kind of aggressive towards him. He's being Wolverine. Xavier actually sits down with him and is talking to him, and he gets into the boy's head, and he has like this shocking reaction, and he finds out that he's not a mutant, that he's just more supernatural, so he can't take him at the Xavier school. So they go back to the orphanage. The boy does some terrible things, which he does some things that are pretty graphic. You have to read the story to see them. And that's what, if you go back to the opening, when Wolverine says it's happening again, it's because these things that are showing up at these different sites are popping up again that Wolverine had seen in the past. So he goes back to the boys, take him back to the orphanage, and he does this thing that he does, and then he runs away, and he goes back to Xavier school, and there he actually gets into a little battle with Wolverine, and it's a huge demon-like bear. I actually have a picture of what it looks like. So he's battling this huge demon bear thing.
Nice.
And it ends up, and initially I thought it was part of the boy, like the boy transformed into that demon bear, but he didn't. The bear kind of comes out of him. So the bear kind of scooped the little boy up and took off, and Wolverine started chasing him, and he's chasing him, but also the Ghost Rider's chasing him, and they kind of cross paths, and Wolverine's just in this rage that he's in, and it's in the demon. So boom, he comes across another flaming skull guy, and they kind of have a little battle. It's a pretty awesome fight between the two, and Ghost Rider's got him all wrapped up in the chains and stuff, and he tells him, he's like, look, I'm not the one you're looking for. We're both looking for the same demon. So they kind of ride off into the sunset at the end of this one, chasing after this bear and this little boy. So this is a get it. I think you have to be a fan of Ghost Rider. I think everybody's a fan of Wolverine, but I think Ghost Rider, fewer fans, but
so
yeah,
fun.
This is definitely a get it. It's fun. All 4 issues are out. And we've got so it's Ghost Rider 17. So we've got the Ghost Rider Wolverine out, Weapons of Vengeance Alpha, and then it goes into Ghost Rider 17. And then you've got, if you didn't pre-order this one, Wolverine 36, and you don't get lucky, you're going to be paying, $10-15 for it at this point.
Yeah.
This has the first appearance of a character called Helverine, which is kind of neat. It's kind of fun.
It is.
Neat.
Yeah.
Because they end up at the Weapons X program. And some of this stuff goes, I think it's going to go back to the previous issues of Ghost Rider when they had that Weapon X type of helmet. And then the whole thing wraps. Oh, then here's the second printing for that, which that comes out October 18th.
That's pretty cool, but I like the other one better.
Yeah, I like the other one better. But once again, it's Ryan Stegman. And I think this is interior art. I'm almost positive this might be. I have to go back and look. It might be the last page of that Wolverine book. And then the whole thing wraps up in Ghost Rider Wolverine Omega. But this is definitely it's a really cool story. I liked it a lot, and I can't wait to finish up with this last issue.
Awesome.
So it's a get it. So this is one I think you would probably like, Kevin. I think I thought this one was on your radar.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, you highlighted it in the way back when, and then I highlighted it the following previews.
Right.
I think. Yeah,
That's
right. Yeah. So I don't have them all yet. I still got one more to get, but I've got, and it's the Ghost Rider. If it had Wolverine in the title, I ordered it, but I didn't get the Ghost Rider. So,
Oh, right.
Which is part 1, right?
No, Ghost Rider is part 2.
Oh, Omega is
Alpha.
Alpha is part 1, and then Ghost Rider. Yeah, so part 2 is what I'm missing. Yeah, so I can't read it yet.
And I was getting the beat, like I got the George Perez Wolverine. I got that cover as well, but I got the Bjorn Ghost Rider cover because it just looks so much cooler. And then I realized, Ryan Stegman did all of them, and I like Ryan Stegman. So I'm like, dang, now that's I love consistencies like that. So now I have to go back and get the Ryan Stegman covers.
Well, very nice. I'm definitely getting it, so everyone else needs to get it. And I'm assuming it's a must-have for Ghost Rider and Wolverine fans.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a must-have. Just for your average fan, though, it's a get it.
Gotcha.
I don't think you'll be disappointed.
Got it. All right, so Tyler's like, I don't want to review a book today, so he just checked out.
Yeah, I think Tyler's going to have a sandwich like I did during your Ahsoka.
Well, he private messaged that he had to step out for a minute, so which is fine. We can handle this. Pulling an audible, I think that's what you usually say, Mike. So we'll do mine next, and then we'll get to Ty's last. Hopefully, he's back by then. So I read, and we're kind of a little bit on the same page this week, Mike. I read Predator versus Wolverine.
Oh man, I'm so upset that I didn't order this for myself.
What?
After you review this, I'm probably going to be more upset.
Well, I actually got, and of course, in true to fashion to my reviews, this is the only picture I have, but I'm going to talk about other things that'd be cool to have pictures of. I actually got this one. I got the Scotty Young, which Karen's probably going to buy on the next Whatnot show I do. And then I also got the Peach Momoko cover. I got all 3. So, and I think, was there only 3 covers? I think that was the only 3 for this, right? At least that's the only ones I saw.
There may have been more. I'll look it up real quick while you talk.
We highlighted those 3 on the previous previews, though, because I think both you and I highlighted Predator versus Wolverine in the previous previews, but I showed the Peach Momoko and then you showed the Scotty Young or vice versa or something like that. But
anyway. There actually, I think, remember there are those variants where it's the Hulk 340 homage where you've got Wolverine with Predator claws and then Predator with Wolverine in the claws.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't get that one. Why didn't I get that one? Anyway, I need all those homage 340s. That's going to be a nice, what's it called? Montage of stuff or whatever, when you put a bunch of pictures together.
Collage.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. So Predator versus Wolverine, #1. Is this a 5-issue miniseries too, right, Mike? Is it 5 issues or 4?
4, 5, or 6.
Okay. Okay. Written by Benjamin Percy. And the artists are this goes back and forth in time a lot. So Ken Lashley artist is the present day Wolverine artist. Greg Land and Jay Leaston are the young Wolverine artists, and Andrea DeVito is the Team X Wolverine artist. And basically it breaks down like this, okay? And I'm digging this, man. This is so cool. So we start out the issue in present day where Wolverine is being tracked by Predator, and he is super banged up. Like he is, how Wolverine occasionally, whether it be in live action, we've seen him or in animated or comics or whatever, he gets beat up and cut and sliced and diced to such an extent, he looks rough, even though he's obviously healing. Like it's so bad, the healing factor is taking time to kick in. So we kind of start the issue with Wolverine in that state, with Predator tracking him in present day. And basically, almost immediately, like I think like after like 2 or 3 pages, we jump back in time to the early 1900s when Wolverine is very young. And I believe he's in Alaska. And he's basically just trying to live life out in the woods, not looking for any trouble. But of course, trouble always finds him. And basically, it seems to go back to the 1900s to start to show us how, and why Predator is currently tracking Wolverine. And basically, like I said, Wolverine's mostly keeping to himself. But of course, he does have this one outpost he goes to because he's basically a trapper, and he just kills enough animals to get their furs to sell, to get the supplies he needs to carry on, yada yada, living this kind of lone wolf life. And but of course, people have heard about him. When he comes to the outpost, there's a crowd there that are looking to kind of take him out because they kind of are looking for a challenge, I guess. And Wolverine makes quick work of them. And then there's also another guy that's looking for Wolverine to help him find his son, because these other bad guys have kidnapped his son. Wolverine, again, kind of like Daryl Dixon action here. He's obviously a big baddie that can take care of business, but he's a softie. He's also a softie. Like Mike was saying, he's got morals and convictions and stuff. So he wants to help this guy out to find his son. In the midst of that story, essentially, a Predator has landed. We all know the old story of Predator. It's just an alien race that comes to Earth to kind of hunt and kind of prove how they're great hunters and stuff like that. And it's just kind of a coincidence in the early 1900s that this story with Wolverine finding this guy's son and Predator has landed on the Earth to hunt, kind of happened simultaneously. You know what I was just thinking? That's not. When did Prey? You know what years Prey takes place? Do you remember, Mike?
I don't. I would guess the 1800s, 17. No, probably the 1800s, maybe.
Yeah, you're probably right. I think that's it as well. I was just thinking of the continuity there. Is this so? That we kind of get the feel like in this comic that it's the first time Predators come to Earth, but we know in Prey it was sooner than that. So anyway, this Predator's got all the modern Predator gear though, so it's obviously after the fact, rather than the wimpy, sucky, can't hunt worth a darn Predator from Prey. But anyway,
yeah, I've got the year.
What is it?
1719.
Okay. So apparently that Predator, since he showed how much he sucks, he didn't get the job. Right. And then the next time a Predator shows up is in Predator versus Wolverine here. So anyway, as you can imagine, when they cross paths, two alpha beasts, get into a scrum, and it's pretty equal. And actually a bear ends up kind of sneak attacking Predator, because, nature respects Wolverine because he's kind of one of them, Yeah. And bear kind of sneak attacks and saves Wolverine from the Predator. And then, of course, now the Predator has a major vendetta against Wolverine. So he comes back way later, and I don't exactly know the year on this, because it just that's actually one of the things I was trying to see because I forgot, but I don't think I forgot. I think they just never said it, that it's just years and years later when Team X is around, which Team X consists of Sabretooth, Wolverine, Maverick, Cruel, and Jackson. And this issue basically ends where now we're kind of in a new place in time to where Wolverine's a part of Team X and they're kind of mercenaries. The end of this issue actually seems to be totally reminiscent of setting us up for issue 2, is going to be just like the OG original Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator movie,
Nice.
Wolverine and Team X are out there on this mercenary mission, kind of doing something completely different, and then the Predator shows up, and then that's where it ends, So it seems like a great setup for me.
What's up, your grandpa?
Hey.
Your grandpa's chiming in. Yeah, what's up, your grandpa?
What is up?
So anyway, man, this is super, super excellent in my opinion. Great art, great writing. This is a must-have for the population of the planet, in my opinion. But if you want to be ticky-tacky about it, if you don't like Wolverine and his style of being a human being, you might not dig this too much. But I would still say get it to everyone in general. But it's a must-have. If you like Predator or Wolverine or just mutants in general, it's a must-have for me.
Yeah.
But it's really good. So definitely check it out. And my next Whatnot show, again, once we get there, we'll definitely highlight a couple versions of this book. So check that out. So anyway.
Yeah, I got to pick this up. But it's 4 issues.
4 issues? Okay, good. Okay. Yeah.
Man, it's like the Benjamin Percy show. I reviewed his book. You reviewed his book.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And the art was the same too, right? The artist. You said Ken Lashley.
Oh, no. Jeff Shaw did
okay.
the Wolverine Ghost Rider stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, he did. What do you call it? I can't even think now. The book with Donny Cates. God Country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which that's excellent, obviously.
It's very excellent. Yeah. Yeah. What's up with Donny Cates?
Yeah, I don't know. I was hoping that's the kind of information I get from you. I don't know.
What do you mean? Has he not been doing much?
He hasn't been doing anything. That's why he was writing Thor, and
you said he was going through personal stuff.
Yeah, and then so nobody's heard anything. Well, I'm sure his family has, but in Marvel,
right? Yeah, his family and Marvel know what's going on, right? Yeah.
But anyway, so I have to pick these up. It looks so good.
Yeah, I love it. All right, Tyler, you checked out.
I dropped the ball.
What do you mean?
I totally forgot. I don't have a review.
Between Thursday when we were
text.
Yeah, Friday was. He asked me Thursday.
Good job, studio audience.
And I was busy, and then Friday I had school and was busy, and then got drunk, and then
cool.
That's totally my bad.
I failed British Lit in high school because I was reading Uncanny X-Men.
Right.
Your priorities are way off.
Priorities, Tyler.
Well, Jesse, I called Jesse last night when we were drinking, and then it turned into one question was a 4.5 hour conversation. So,
you were talking to Jesse for 4.5 hours last night?
Yeah.
Dadgum. Well, you might be. I don't know.
Yeah, where were you? You passed out or what?
No, I was playing Overwatch with your brother because he's going to the Philippines on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. How late you guys stay out?
4:30.
Oh, yeah. I was on the phone with Jesse the whole time.
I just outed myself. That's why the show was a little late today.
Yeah.
I set my alarm at 7:30, but it didn't work until 8:30.
Yeah, I know you like to meet at 8. We start at 9, right?
No, 8:30. Meet at 8:30 and start at 9:30. Yeah.
Yeah, my alarm went off at 7:30, but then I just passed back out and woke back up at 8:50 and opened my phone, and I was like, "Thank God he hasn't invited me yet." So it worked out for me too.
Yeah, the invite didn't go out until 9, I don't think. Yeah. So anyway, enough of that backstory. Everybody's getting behind the scenes of comics and collectibles. Everybody's like, no one cares. Let's just see some cool collectibles.
One of these days, I have this idea that for the Patreon, we can have a higher level where you pay to get, because we talk for, like you said, a half hour, 45 minutes before the show.
Yeah.
And,
there's a lot of extra content. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So I would like to record that, and that would be the extra bonus material.
Your grandpa's chiming in. He was getting up for the day then. I'm assuming he's talking about 4:30 whenever me and Ty went to bed. That's when he was getting up. All right, but yeah, like I said, the people are waiting for the awesome collectible review. You ready, Ty?
All right.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Are you gonna do an intro to this?
Why do I think you're making fun of me, Tyler?
That's what I was just getting ready to say. What I was gonna say also, besides for stop making fun of Uncle Mikey, is you instill such confidence when I ask you you're ready. You're like, yeah.
Right.
But I know you're ready. I'm just kidding.
I don't
All
have
right, what do you got?
I don't have like a good format of how I like introducing it.
Right.
So that's why I'm like, yeah, here you go. We have this. We got some cool Christmas figures that I always want, but they're always in my backlog and I never get to them.
Yeah.
We got an Ewok with a Porg with a Christmas present.
What? Hold on a second.
What?
I feel like that guy. What's that? He's kind of a viral.
Oh yeah.
He's like he watches videos and then he's like, "What? Wait a second!" And then he's like, "This has you get a Porg."
Yeah, look at it right there in the top right.
And an Ewok and a Christmas present. Oh man, this is epic.
Yeah, they do these every year. They're awesome. I want to eventually get all of them for sure.
Oh man. Salacious Crumb and Jawa. Sorry, I'm taking your thunder there.
No, please interject. It helps. And then we got a Purge Trooper.
Uh-oh. Okay. Yeah.
It's like a nutcracker.
Yeah, I'll probably pass on that one.
Yeah.
Why are you hating on that?
I don't know. That one doesn't quite tickle my fancy, although it does have a mouse droid in there. I like the mouse. Okay, I'm going to get it too. Never mind.
Just for the mouse droid, you're going to open it and hold that and throw everything else away.
Right.
That's how I feel about quite a few figures. I want the Obi-Wan figure from the show, but I already have an Obi-Wan that I want, but it comes with Leia's little bird droid. And that's the only piece I want from it.
Right.
Same. I just want to get these Porgs and then Crumb.
Oh man. Yeah. Okay. I just want to say this now. I want to apologize to Pat for my opinion of season 2, episode 31. No, I'm just kidding. I don't exactly know what episode it is, but I'm not kidding about my apology. I told Pat when he started showing these Christmas figures, especially he had a Boba Fett and an ugly sweater, and I was like, this is dumb. I'm not getting these. I think I'm completely sold now. Maybe it was just I was personally offended because it was Boba Fett on that one, maybe. But yeah, I'm totally digging this. And it is. I'm digging the secondaries of all of these more than the mains. But
yeah. I mean, there's tons. They got a clone trooper, but it's dressed like a gingerbread cookie. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all these. So yeah, I talked a lot, and I might have talked over you. What was the second one there before you go to the Purge Trooper again, Ty? Yeah, that one. No, that one. Yeah, no. What are you doing? That one. What is it? I'm letting.
What is it?
Yeah, because I talked over you. Whatever.
What do you mean?
You already said it. The Jawa and the Salacious Crumb.
Okay. Yeah. I was just letting Tyler talk. Anyway.
Oh.
Continue.
I don't care. And then we got Pre-Vizsla.
All right, I've got something to say about. Okay, continue on this one. You got another picture of this one first?
No, I don't have a box picture. It doesn't show the accessories well enough.
Ah, well, I actually saw this one, and you know what? I'm actually a little bit annoyed with about these pre-Vizsla figures.
Okay.
Don't you feel like in The Mandalorian, his head to body proportion was off in the show? Actually, the show itself.
Slightly maybe.
Yeah, these figures look spot on though, and I'm retroactively being more frustrated by the pre-Vizsla in The Mandalorian because I felt like he was disproportionate, but it was just like the intent was for him to be a little disproportionate, and I was supposed to ignore that, so I did, which is fine. But now that he's spot on, perfect proportions with the action figures, and he looks so cool, I'm
Are you talking
retroactively mad
about
about The Mandalorian.
Vizsla in The Mandalorian?
Or no, not pre-Vizsla, Paz Vizsla, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his dad right here.
Right. Yeah.
I don't get it.
I meant Paz.
Okay. So you don't like Paz Vizsla's proportions?
In the show.
Really?
Yeah.
That's shocking to me. I don't get it.
I wish I had a
He's
picture.
like a bodybuilder.
His head's so freaking small.
Oh, I don't know.
That's because he's a bodybuilder.
I
He doesn't build his
disagree.
head. He builds his body.
I think it's pretty proportional.
If you had head muscles, you can work out. You skip head day.
I
Like
thought
Hulk.
since he had a helmet, again, here we are with helmets. Here we are. It always gets down to the helmets because I thought since he was wearing a helmet anyway, why not make it big enough to be proportionate? Now, maybe if you guys are saying he's a bodybuilder where his head was smaller than his body, like you kind of get that,
Yeah, and then the armor on his body, so it looks even smaller.
So then he should have ordered a bigger helmet to make
his helmet is perfectly proportional.
Man, I wish I had a picture of it right now for you to show you. I
wish you did too.
I was distracted by it during the entire show.
That's
cool. If he had a tiny head, but a big helmet, it would fall off.
Have you ever seen the NFL? You know how big those freaking helmets look on those little heads sometimes, you know. When they have...
Well, Mandalorians don't have padding inside their helmet. It's just pure steel.
He could, though. All you have to do is write it in there. That's all.
No.
He could.
He should.
Anyway,
this figure looks awesome.
Yes.
There's only one complaint with it. It's a reuse of an old body on the mold of Jango Fett.
Oh yeah.
And it's the first body mold of Jango Fett's first original release. So the articulation's pretty bad. And the kind of like wires going from his upper arm that connects to his forearm makes it hard to bend his elbows. So there's gripes with it, but I think it looks cool if you give it a simple pose for sure. I'm still gonna be getting it.
Yeah, it definitely looks cool. Yeah.
Well, those complaints are if you're gonna play with it. Nobody plays with these, right?
Well, not even playing with it, just like different. It limits your posability.
Oh, your posability. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I did something for the first time this weekend or this couple days ago actually that I've done in forever, where I busted an action figure out of a package. It was it was just so tough to do, but I wanted to do it so bad I had to do it. But I got the biker scout with the Grogu and the satchel on his speeder bike, and it comes. I'm sure you probably know this, Ty, but it comes with the action figure packaged in a box with the speeder bike. So I opened the box, take the speeder bike out, and then it was a perfect mint on card action figure in the
Yeah.
I had to protect it in that box.
Yeah.
I like keeping the carded figures in the box.
Yeah, me too, typically. So
it's a little different to me. I like the style of it. It adds to the figure.
Yeah.
And then we got Professor Hu Yang from Ashoka.
Oh, nice.
I think it looks pretty spot on.
Yeah, it does. That looks awesome. Man, dadgum.
I don't know if I'll be getting it. Not a priority, but definitely I like it enough I'd want it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, it's definitely very cool. I like it. Droids aren't my big thing, of course, but man, this looks good, and I'd love, man, if I had unlimited money and unlimited space, I would totally love to have every one of these. That's for sure. Yeah, that's awesome.
We got Hera.
All right. Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
What?
I'm not down with how Hera looks in live action yet, and then they make an action. No, so this action figure is obviously spot on to the live action.
Okay.
But I'm not caring for the live action Hera too much.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't bought into her yet.
It's everything that originated as an animation is always going to be hard to adjust to live action.
I agree.
But I'm finally warming up to how Ahsoka looks. But originally I was like, man, they messed this up.
Yeah, you pointed that out to me last week about Thrawn, and you're right. It is tough. It's
very,
so
very tough.
I don't hate it by any stretch. It's just I haven't warmed up to how Hera or Ahsoka look on Ahsoka yet. But I like Sabine's look, and Ezra makes sense too with the aging of him. He looks pretty spot on, So
yeah. The thing I'd still like to say about Ahsoka is I've heard all the arguments about why her lekus, they're called, are shorter for live action.
Yeah.
For the sake of acting and action, making it easier.
Right.
I can get down with that. But they're always, even in the animation, they've always been like straight up. In the live action, they have them like low and backwards.
Yeah.
So you couldn't even get that part for me.
Right.
So I don't know what they're going through to make them do those little changes.
Yeah.
And then we got Ezra, and it looks terrible.
Wow, man, that is
the face mold is
yeah
very off.
So looking at that picture on the side box, you think that's a foreshadowing thing for the next episode of?
Well, we've already seen him as a Jedi live action.
But wait, what?
Yeah, in the first or second episode, Sabine is looking at old holo recordings of Ezra.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
So we've already seen this technically.
That's true. Okay, you're right. Yep. Okay. I was just thinking, you think they're gonna get his haircut and stuff, but anyway, you're right. We've already seen him like that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's what they're targeting, but who knows? Obviously, he could end up trimming up when he gets back in the action for real.
That's true. Because I was gonna say that I actually liked in the cartoon. I liked long-haired Ezra, but I think I would like short-haired Ezra in live action better. So,
I would disagree. I think long hair is cooler.
Well, look at you. Of course you do.
And then we got Morgan. I think this is picture perfect.
Yeah, me too.
It's a great fig.
Man, how do they get all the rest of them so perfect and screw up age?
Yeah, they hit or miss constantly with the same technology, so I don't know what their problem is.
That's so weird.
Like, they got into work at the beginning of the day, and then they made Morgan. But then when they're clocking out at like 3:45 is when they put together Ezra.
That's so hilarious.
Ezra's done on somebody's lunch break, probably.
Yeah.
Say, hey, I'm gonna take lunch. You knock out Ezra. When I get back from lunch, we'll do Morgan.
Yeah, and also Mike was commenting last week with your Spider-Man, all the 3 Spider-Man figures that they ran out of money by the time they got to Token.
Yeah.
It's just shocking how perfect they can do some, but then the others are just unrecognizable.
Yeah, who is that? It's crazy. Yep.
Like, you can get away with telling me that's Ezra because you see his suit, but the face is.
Yeah, if you had him in an unrecognizable suit, you would not know that's Ezra, right? But you'd know this is Morgan.
If you put her in a hoodie and some shorts, I'd still know that's Morgan.
Right.
And then we got ATST and a Raider from Mando. There's the box that sucks.
Wait, you said the box sucks?
Yeah, I like the windows.
Okay, that's your reference. Okay.
There's my preview.
This is totally retro cool looking to me though.
Yeah, this one's not less cool. What of the better?
This is one of the better non-plastic
Yeah.
see-throughness boxes. Got it.
Yeah. And there they are.
Dadgummit. I'm going to end up spending more money on a Star Wars action or toy and unboxing it because I'm Biker Scout, and this is why I did this with the Biker Scout this week, because Biker Scout is my favorite trooper. The speeder bike, is my favorite vehicle. And whenever, we got Empire Strikes Back with the ATSTs and the AT-AT AT-ATs, everybody, of course, was right on top of the AT-ATs right away, which I think detracted me a little bit to go, you know what? ATSTs are cooler. So ATSTs are like my favorite, Empire, large vehicle or whatever you want to call it. But this is sick. Always have a soft spot for an ATST. This is awesome. And Sabine could Sorry, you're muted too, Ty. Sabine could totally hijack this ATST and call it for her own because of a new paint job too. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
what I said muted. Wait, what?
That's what I was going to ask. What's that alien guy's name again?
Oh, I don't remember.
Go back to the box.
It's just a raider I think it's when they ran into the Skywalker from
Mandalorian season 2, I think. Yeah.
When they were meeting Kara.
Yeah, when they went to the shrimp fishing village.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Mando almost broke the rule of letting that hot primitive lady see his face because she was cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's on the box. Go back to the box. The Klatooinian.
Yeah.
Klatooinian Raider. Gotcha. Okay. There's one of those in there too. He looks pretty good too, actually.
All right, getting away from Star Wars.
Oh, dadgummit.
We got Green Goblin.
And
I think it's sweet in this shot. I think it's perfect.
Perfect. Come on.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's pretty good, but I definitely don't think this one's perfect.
A crappy windowless box.
Yeah.
If you're an inbox collector with these, they've already backtracked where they're going back to windowless, but obviously this was already in production at the time. But yeah, if you're an inbox collector, like you don't even need to pay for the figure. I just need somebody to get the box and open it up for me and then sell me this.
Just sell me the empty box.
Yeah, put the equivalent weight that's supposed to be in the box for the figure and just sell it to them because they'll never know.
Yeah. I think I would be. This is definitely on my interest list.
Really?
I think it looks pretty good.
Wow. Okay.
And then we got Doc Ock.
Got him out of the box. Oh,
looks pretty decent.
Is that young person slang for decent?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, the figure actually, that figures look good. It's the art on the box that just looks terrible. I don't like it.
You talking about the background art?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Same with this one. That doesn't look like what's his name?
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe. Yeah, it doesn't look like him at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
But I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty good. And if those arms are totally like malleable, like wiry pipe cleaners or something, that's
right.
Yeah.
And that is these are all the Star Wars ones they're all like $27 to $32 coming out December, January. I don't remember the price of these, and then these are technically deluxe figures, so they'll be like $35 or something. And then that concludes. The memory of Cat.
He was still with us. He's just working on his roof.
Yeah, he's not gone. You know what? You know what I see in this picture?
What?
Hi. This is Pat giving you the judgy eyes because I told you how to close Collectibles on the Horizon last week.
Oh,
and you
shoot.
butchered it again.
How do you close it?
You're supposed to go, and that's what's on your horizon.
And that's what's on your horizon.
Nice. There you go.
He gave you the judgy eyes.
Oh man. You know what else happened there? That was kind of jarring for me because Pat always gives you, especially I feel like it's for me personally because I'm the one that can get kind of worked up and passionate about things the most on the show, I think. But Pat always gives me a warning. He's like, oh, and finally we've got blank, so I know that that's the last one. You didn't set up for any finally on that one too. For the fact that that was the last one and then you closed it, I was like, wait, what? I was like all in enjoying the party, and then it just ended. I was like, daggone, took me back for a second. Oh man, but that was good though. Those are good stuff, man. Yeah, man, I'm telling you.
What?
I want to be able to afford to be a collect man. When I see collectors, obviously all this awesome stuff you guys show, I want it all the time, constantly. And when I see videos and stuff of people with their humongous action figure and accessory and vehicles collections, I'm so freaking jealous, you know?
I dream of when I can afford like the Hot Toys.
Yeah.
Because they're hyper realistic and they're all, 12 inches tall, and but they're like $300-$400 a pop.
Yeah.
No and then I go on Reddit and I see people have these glass cases with like 200 of them. I'm like, screw you.
Yeah, exactly.
I always do that. I'm like, that looks ridiculous. I have way too many. And then I start categorizing my 13,000 comic books.
right. It's all about priorities. Man, I've watched this one guy. I wish I could remember his name. And I'm probably going to tag him in this video because I'm talking about him, but I can't remember his name or his channel name. But and there's this one guy. He gets the big, huge ones, like the 2-foot statue ones, like all the time. And he shows an unboxing and building it, and then the finished product every time too. And I'm like, daggone, man. And I'm assuming at this point, this guy's got so many followers, he's probably getting that stuff free. But, it's awesome. There's so much awesome. Much awesome. But good job, Ty. Good job. Good job anyway, though.
Yeah, look at how ridiculous my little man cave is here with my 200-plus figures. And I only have like a 16th of what I want.
Right. Yep. All right, and that's why we're here. See, we hope to. We're not looking to be rich to be rich. We're looking to be rich to be able to afford all these things that we can show everybody to help them make better financial decisions. You get the whole package here. So anyway, you ready to recap that package, Mike?
Yeah, you asked
me an intro for this.
You asked me a question, bro.
Did you ask him a question and then just roll with it?
All right, you guys got to stop. This is one of those episodes my face is hurting. I'm grinning so much. Check, gum.
It's still playing on my screen. Just the music.
My God.
There we go.
It's been over since last episode.
Yeah.
Tyler,
what?
Uncle Mikey did this. I said, "Are you ready?" He went like this. So that's when I started it.
Oh.
But my first laughter of that was not about you talking over the episode. It was about your yawn.
My yawn?
Yeah, you yawned so huge right as I was ready to start.
Oh.
Anyway, all right, Mike. I think you aside from a recap, but starting in the recap, you got something to tell us, right?
Oh yeah. I forgot. Let me get down here to it. I was all ready for my recap.
Oh.
All right, we have this is going to take me a second. I'm going to have to read it.
It's up.
Unless you
Yeah.
can. Okay. This is from New York Mike. What he finds ridiculous. It's been. Wait.
Yeah, you got it.
Read this. Yeah. It's been over a year since Neil Adams and George Perez have passed, and still no great hardcover collections of their work have been released or announced to honor them, with the exception of an upcoming artist edition for Neil from IDW. So maybe I think when we've got legends like this that leave us and they've got such a great body of work, it would be nice to see it. Maybe they're still working on it, because you've got Marvel, DC, some independent stuff. You've got to gather all that. He did have a secondary one, part 2. Would love to see a Teshkin collection for both Neil and George, similar to the one just released for Frank Frazetta, an oversized goodness. So
yeah.
So New York Mike is pushing for some nice collections honoring George Perez's artwork and Neil Adams' artwork, and I agree with him.
And that seems to be where Mike currently is with his collecting habits. That's totally his jam. So yeah, he's probably like us, impatiently waiting for the next comic to hit the shelves. He's waiting for the next hardcover edition collection to hit the market. Yeah. Yeah, I agree that I think the whole been over a year is probably what he's kind of focused on with why it's ridiculous. It's being over
they
a
haven't
year.
announced anything.
Yeah, they haven't even announced it. Yeah, so. And the fact that he probably add on to that, and I'd hate to speak for New York Mike. He'd probably be mad at me for even trying, but the fact that IDW has something and Marvel and DC doesn't, especially with what IDW's been going through lately financially,
right?
With Marvel and DC having the big bucks and them not doing anything yet, it's probably adding on to the ridiculous nature of it, So. All right, so what do you got then to start off the recap here, Mike?
With Cover Combat 6, I know a lot of stuff that nobody else knows, but I will tell you this little secret. It will be full of epic matchups because these 64 covers, they're all awesome. I mean, you just think back the 1980s DC Comics and who was in that, the creators there and the work that they put out. Legendary classic covers.
I'm not only looking forward to awesome matchups like that you're describing, but also what inputs on this not being alive at the time. That's going to be interesting to see as well, So
yeah,
almost kind of a sneak peek into Cover Combat 7 viewer submissions is Ty's submissions of covers that were around before he was alive to see what his take on them is. That's going to be interesting. So anyway.
Well, I'll say he did a good job.
Nice. What do you got, Ty?
Sometimes they pick and choose when to be accurate with face molds.
Yes, got it. That's true. Or we were kind of saying they don't pick and choose. It's just they get exhausted or they run out of money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you are one for loving dog/other animal hybrids, you're probably enjoying life right now. See Ahsoka's dog horses and Invasion's dog pigs. It's like you just combo those. You're obviously money with new streaming shows. Mike?
Daryl Dixon is a caring gentleman, but he can put you in your place if you need to be put there.
Yep. Oh, Karen's got one. Buckle up. Every show is a fun ride. Facts, Karen. Facts.
Yeah, facts.
Tyler, you got another one?
I don't think so.
Obviously Wolverine came before Daryl Dixon. I think Daryl Dixon might be doing his best Wolverine impression with with real, tough guys that can, take care of business, but are real softies at heart,
Yep.
Mhm.
Speaking of soft things, Mandalorian helmets should have padding inside them.
Oh, nice. Facts.
Paz Vizsla's head needs to be apparently bigger.
Facts. Exactly. Stay tuned for Predator versus Wolverine issue 2. The OG Predator in comic book form with new characters. Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
I have one last one. I'm guaranteed to skip Karen once a week. Sorry, Karen. You have another one?
Yeah. Yeah. That's my fault. I'm sorry about it. I'm doing the call outs here. Karen says Patrick comes through again with an awesome logo for Cover Combat 6. Very true. Very true.
I have a product design in the works.
What?
And I think you guys are gonna love it.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Can't wait to see it.
It's gonna mostly be concept art, not a physical product.
Oh wow, okay.
Too much licensing involved there.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Is it something that you can do on those digital printers or 3D printers? Once you
I don't have one of those.
Yeah, I mean if you did though.
Maybe.
Oh, cool.
Probably not, actually.
So do you have another recap or are you done, Ty?
That was my recap.
Your recap about something we didn't talk about prior?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay. Be sure to pick up your Black Series just to get the secondary figures this coming season. And I think that's all I got too. And you guys are done?
I'm done. I need to read a book, apparently.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Predator versus Wolverine or Ghost Rider and Wolverine. One or the other. They're pretty awesome, I hear.
What sucks about my memory is I've got about 30 books in the backlog of what I read. I just can't spit them out to you. What happened?
Mm-hmm.
You're preaching to the choir, buddy. Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
That's why I write it down.
Through a book. Yeah, I got 30, 40 to choose from that I have read.
Here's what you should do, because obviously you're not on the show every week, is when you read a book, just take notes in your phone or something. So whenever we do call on your show, you review a book that you read 6 months ago. It's fine. We do that all the time.
I'll share a form with you. I created a form. I create forms for everything.
Yeah.
And it's called "What Did You Read This Week?" review.
Nice.
And I fill it out. Has all the.
Send me the PDF.
All right, cool. And that'll do it for the recap then. Let's get into the future. All right. Okay, so please like and comment on this video as well as subscribe and hit that bell to get notifications. That's especially important now because we're dropping, talk about the shorts we dropped this week. We started experimenting with dropping some shorts, YouTube shorts this week. And man, one of them was a big hit. There's a couple of them that did pretty well, but one of them was a big hit. Apparently the populace, and this is my take on it, agree with me about my opinion that Sabine didn't have her helmet on when she went on her trip with Balin, but that's a whole nother, don't even go there. But anyway, make sure you hit that bell to get our notifications so you can get the shorts when we drop them, because those are coming in regular now. And then also because Cover Combat for the foreseeable future is going to be a separate episode on a different day during the regular show, or a different day than the regular show is. So you need to make sure you get notified when that actually drops. And then please subscribe to Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Spotify for podcasters or many other podcast providers. And just recently, iHeartRadio was added. And Please listen to the edited podcast of this live stream on Spotify that will be posted no later than Tuesday. Then follow XcellarComics on Facebook, Instagram, and or X, aka Twitter, and follow Xcellar_comics on TikTok and whatnot. Watch our live streaming shows on the Whatnot app. Bookmark them now to get notified when the ridiculous deals will be offered, because that's essentially when I'm going to be doing a show. When I got a ton of ridiculous deals, or whenever I have a guest host that'll make it fun for me, even if I don't get a bunch of ridiculous sales. But the next time I have a show, it's going to be ridiculous sales, or ridiculous deals to ensure a ridiculous amount of sales. And Mike will be mad at me afterwards, but it'll be good, so.
It'll be good.
Yeah.
It will be good. Mike will be mad because he has to pack up a bunch of stuff and we lose a bunch of money. Those things.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, look at this stack. I'm like, what was that? $3.
Yeah, exactly.
$3 in tape on this. Gee.
He is not joking, folks. He is not joking. But anyway, it's just funny because that's how we live life. So anyway, check out what we have to offer on eBay at Xcellar_comics and on our website, XcellarComics.com. We've got some stuff that we're adding, as we go on the website. So there's good stuff there. So don't sleep on it. And then also you can help support the show through Patreon at patreon.com/XcellarComics. Please do so. We've got a lot of stuff we want to do, a lot of plans once we can afford it. So if you want to be a part of helping us out with that, we would greatly appreciate it. And there's going to be rewards for Patreon members at some point in time too, which will definitely make it even more rewarding to be a Patreon member. So please hook us up there if you're able. And then watch our next live stream on YouTube or Facebook. Okay, I'm gonna add this little caveat here that I need to obviously change this scroll. Watch our next Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space live stream on YouTube or Facebook next Saturday, October 7th at 9:30 a.m.-ish Eastern Standard Time. But you can watch our next our Cover Combat live stream this coming Monday, 2 days from now, between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. for the Round 1A reveal. And then every week after that, we'll be doing Cover Combat, a separate show on Mondays. So I need to update another scroll on there. Reminders we're essentially going to have two shows: collectibles, Comics and Collectibles in the Crawl Space on Saturday, and then a Cover Combat show on Mondays. Pretty much every week. We take breaks, but pretty much every week. So there you have it.
That is it.
That is it.
Sweet.
I'm playing another introduction.
What'd you say, Mike? Did you have anything else you want to say?
No, it was just silent, so I figured something was playing that I couldn't hear. And then
It wasn't silent, right?
And then I heard the audience.
Yeah. All right, Tyler, you got anything else?
I don't think so.
Well, I'm just going to extend again a serious and sincere thank you to you, Ty, for filling in. I know Pat appreciates it too whenever he's unable to be here. And, 2 weeks in a row, I don't know if you've ever hosted 2 weeks in a row, so I don't know if that was particularly hard on you, but either way.
Never hard on me.
Okay. Well, you're young, and
it's mostly that I wake up Saturday morning and I make my breakfast and coffee and chill out watching TV or something, hop on Xbox, and then it's 1 or 2 p.m. and I'm like, oh dang, the Xcellar show was today.
Yeah. most Saturdays, yeah. So anyway. All right, but anyway, seriously though, thanks again. Right, Mike?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I always love being on. You just gotta remind me because I have to make a concerted effort to be up at 8 on Saturday.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And a lot of times it's because I have a hockey game on Friday nights, so
Right.
It makes it even harder.
And that's another thing that I think I passed down to you, being my son, that we can handle going to bed at 4. Oh, it's probably a Marine thing too, of course, but we can handle go to bed at 4 and waking up at 8 still. It's like, my family goes to bed at 4. Or the ones that I currently have in my household, my daughters and my wife, they go to bed at 4. They want to sleep until 2 p.m.
Yeah.
The next day.
Right, exactly. All right, so yeah, awesome though. And to everybody who chimed in, your grandpa stopping by, we appreciate you as well. Until next time, don't forget that appreciating great art is awesome and reading a great story is fun. So why not pick up a comic book and do both? Xcellar out.